right, you guys. Mom's gonna be home any minute. Who is gonna tell her that we're having Thanksgiving dinner at Barbara Jean's?
I'm not telling her. I'm the smart one. I've got the most value to humanity.
Well, I'm the prettiest.
And what does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. I just like saying it.
Well, first of all, I'm the prettiest. And secondly, I'm the one who said yes to Barbara Jean, so you should be the one to tell your mom.
Yeah, that is another thing, Van. Why would you say yes to Barbara Jean? You know Mom is gonna freak out.
I live in the moment. Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
Hey, guys.
This is gonna be one of the bad ones.
Hey, I got the biggest turkey I could find. The only one bigger than this came with a saddle.
Wow, this is a lot of groceries. This must have cost a fortune.
Well, you can't put a price on family being together, but if you did, it would come to $214.67.
Mom, this just seems like a huge burden. I mean, you're gonna have to spend hours cooking.
And cleaning. Some holiday, huh?
Yeah, wouldn't it be great to have Thanksgiving? Just no family, no food, no fuss, just easy. You know, wouldn't that be great?
Okay, what's going on?
They want to have Thanksgiving dinner over at Barbara Jean's. I guess I'm the only one who loves you, Mommy.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. So you want to eat over there, huh?
Well, just for Thanksgiving, not every day.
Barbara Jean wants to have a special day because she and Dad are trying to work things out. She just wants to have a lot of family around.
Please, Mom.
Okay.
What?
Okay, I said you could go.
You're not mad at us?
No.
You mean you're not gonna get all fiery and start ranting and raving, tell me go cut myself a switch from the licking tree?
No. If you want to eat dinner over there, I can't stop you. And frankly, it would be a relief. I mean, after every meal, Van stands up and says, Van 1, turkey 0. You know, we'll have to hear that. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Hey.
Thanks, Miss Sage. Thanks.
Barbara Jean? Yeah, it's Reba. Get your Thanksgiving stealing butt over here right now and bring a branch from the whipping tree.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Hey, Reba. Put down the spatula. Let's talk.
You're not Barbara Jean.
She's outside. She's not going to come in here until she's sure you're not going to hurt her.
It'll be worse if I have to chase her.
Barbara Jean, it's okay.
If you're saying that against your will, cough twice.
Honey, just come on in here.
The neighbors saw me come in. They better see me come out.
Here's the deal. My kids always have Thanksgiving dinner with me, and since I don't think I should be the bad guy, you get to go in there and tell them the deal's off. Go on, have fun.
Reba, don't you try and bully her.
I'm not trying, I am. You need to explain to the children that you got your days mixed up.
I don't want to.
Bullies don't care what you want. Go on, get in there.
Stop that.
Hey, guys. Barbara Jean has some really sad news she wants to tell you. Come on, Barbara Jean, tell them. Yes, I know it's painful, Brock. Maybe you should tell them.
Well, you see, kids, I've always been attracted to angry women.
I'm not angry. The thing is, Reba wants me to tell you you can't come over for Thanksgiving, even though I really want you there.
Barbara Jean?
Well, I'm not going to give up that easily. I didn't kill that bird for nothing.
Mom? Hey, don't look at me. That's not what she said in the kitchen. Good Lord, Barbara Jean, get your story straight.
talk to you in the kitchen for a second?
Sure, sure. I'm sure we'll be able to work out something, you know. Look, just for the record, I never laid a finger on her.
Mrs. H, we know you're upset, but listen and pay attention here. Cheyenne, you talk.
Okay, look, Mom, we have spent every Thanksgiving with you, and this is really important to Barbara Jean.
It's important to me, too. Honey, as the years go by, you kids are going to be going your separate ways, which means I have a limited number of holidays left. I just want to keep my family with me as long as I possibly can.
Oh, my gosh.
We didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, we just thought you were being comically petty.
Well, I'm not. And it would mean a lot to me if you guys would hold on to our tradition a little longer and have Thanksgiving over here.
But we already promised Barbara Jean. Hey, can we invite Dad and Barbara Jean and Henry over here?
Oh, I would, but family tradition dictates no.
Come on, Mom, please.
Well, clearly, we kids have gotten you into another scrape. But it just seems like the only solution, Mrs. H.
Think about it. The second word in Thanksgiving is giving. So give us dinner with them.
Thanks.
Hard to argue with that, whatever that was. But it's obvious that this is very important to you.
Yeah.
So fine.
Yeah.
I'll invite you.
Oh, Mom, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dad, Barbara Jean, Mom has something to ask you.
I understand if you don't want to, but if you guys do want to do this, you could come over for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Reba? Oh my, you really want all of us to come over here and eat with you?
Sure.
That is so lovely. But I'm gonna have to say no.
What?
Yeah, I can't this year, but really, super thanks.
Oh, wait a second. You don't say no to me, I say no to you.
Well, if anyone is going anywhere, you're coming over to my house for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
You don't invite me, I invite you.
Oh, you are so invited.
No, you are.
And I too.
Ladies, Thanksgiving is not about where you eat. It's about what you eat and how much of it.
Yes, and you guys are gonna have to work this out because we want to have Thanksgiving with everyone that we love.
Yeah, and if you can't work it out and be happy, then you know what? We're gonna have pizza for Thanksgiving.
We'll do it because Van likes pizza and I got coupons.
And that will be the tradition Elizabeth remembers. Pepperoni and sausage on a tear-stained crust. You guys need to work it out, okay? Now, if you excuse me, I made myself hungry.
Okay.
I say we do the pizza thing and go our separate ways.
We have 9 people. My table's bigger. We should have it over here.
No way. You were mean to me.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing
Okay,
yet.
all right, guys, whoa. Look, we can do this, all right? We're the adults, and I, for one, want to set an example for the kids.
An example? What, Van's gonna knock up Barbara Jean?
Okay. What I was going to say was, Reba has a point, okay? She has the bigger kitchen and more room. It just makes sense to do the dinner here.
Fine. But if we're gonna have it over here, I get to cook.
Well,
You? Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. You're not cooking. You're gonna be out in the yard shucking the corn.
No. No, I don't think so. I think I'll cook the turkey.
Turkey? Oh, no. The turkey's the headliner. If Thanksgiving was a concert, the turkey would be Cher.
Okay, so you want to have it at your house and you want to share?
That's right. I got turkey, babe.
I can't talk to her.
All right, Reba, look. Barbara Jean agreed to do it over here. I think you should let her do the cooking.
But I want to cook, and I want to have it over here, and I want her in the yard shucking.
I cook, or we don't come.
Oh, please, Reba. Do it for our children. Remember the sweet ones who are blackmailing us?
Fine. But if she puts her hand up the turkey and does that puppet show, the deal's off. The kids love that.
Hey! Reba, wow, would you calm down? You know, Thanksgiving is a time when you sit back, relax. Oh, son of a pickle, Farry fumbled! Man, I got $5 on this game.
Y'all smell anything?
Sorry.
I meant from the kitchen. We should be smelling something by now. Thanksgiving is all about timing. I mean, she should be preparing the vegetables, the turkey should be in the oven, and right about now, I'd be bringing in
Artichoke dip.
artichoke dip. Mm-hmm. The tradition is French onion dip. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, darling. Hate to be the one to hurt your feelings, but you're dealing with a pretty fussy crowd here.
Oh. Barbara Jean, this dip is delicious. And I usually don't like the dip.
Oh, well, I give thanks for that, Van. Now make sure y'all save room for my twice-baked potatoes.
Twice baked. Why didn't she bake them right the first time?
Hey, you guys, do you think this is enough leaves for our centerpiece? I really want it to be as good as last year.
Oh, that's gonna be hard, because last year it was really good.
I know.
Are those yard clippings?
No, this is our traditional Thanksgiving centerpiece.
Right. Leaves are dirty. That's why God put them in trees.
Those aren't just leaves. There's an old Doritos bag in there, too.
Well, this year, our place settings will each have their own centerpiece. Your own individual gourd embossed with your name.
I'd like to emboss her gourd. Barbara Jean, we need to talk. What are you listening to?
Oh, Thanksgiving music. K-Tribe.
K-Tribe?
All Navajo, all the time.
Hey, we were listening to that.
Barbara Jean, I need something to do. I'm going crazy in there.
Well, you could get a ladder and get off my back.
Oh, I put some ginger in the yams.
Oh, no, I put brown sugar in the yams. Makes them sweeter.
Then the yams will taste the same as the carrots.
Oh, no, we better call the food police.
I'm just saying, we want a variety of flavors.
Reba, I know what I'm doing.
Fine. But I'm taking the ginger with me.
Reba, with all due respect, I'm this close to putting your gourd on the kitty table. Drop it. Give it. Now run them back into the living room so I can get back to work. Okay? There you go. Get a little hip-hopey. Okay, yeah.
All right, guys, help me out here. Is this really Thanksgiving? I mean, because with the gourds and the artichoke dip and the dip doing the cooking, it doesn't feel like it.
Okay. It's Thanksgiving to us, all right? Us on the couch, football on TV.
Your team losing?
I'm gonna pound you.
Yeah, sure feels like that way to y'all because it's your tradition. Mine's in the kitchen, but I'm not allowed there. I can't be in here. No place to be.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of those few years when my mother made Thanksgiving dinner. You remember that?
Grammy Liz used to just about drive you out of the house.
Oh, that's when I came up with our traditional football game. Anything to get away from those smells.
I'm sorry, guys. I think it's the dip.
The traditional football game. Guys, when was the last time we played that?
Oh, my first year in the family, remember? You and I beat Mr. H and your mom here.
Was I on the winning team?
You were 2. You were the football.
The only reason you guys beat us was because Reba dropped the winning pass in the end zone.
I didn't drop it. You threw it high. Hey, we'd love to have a little rematch.
Oh, is that a challenge?
Not for us,
Well,
it's
let's
not.
go.
Oh, well, bring it.
Hey, guys, I'm a professional football player now. This wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, but Cheyenne's on your team.
Oh, yeah. I call Jake.
Loser has to eat a bug.
Good, I'll pick you a nice fat one, buddy.
I get to sing the national anthem. Time to write your names on your gourds, everybody.
Where's everybody?
Yes! Victory is ours! Give me the
Oh, man. Hey, Van, when you get back to Denver, be sure to tell your football buddies that your mother-in-law whooped your butt.
Oh, come here, give me some of that.
You let us live here, I let you win.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the help, Cheyenne.
You threw the ball right at me.
I'm supposed to.
All right, you two, don't fight.
Oh, let them. It finally feels like Thanksgiving. Let's eat.
Wait. What? This is my favorite part of Thanksgiving. When we open that door and we smell the turkey cooking, so on the count of 3, I want everybody to inhale. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I drooled a little.
Boy, it smells like dinner's gonna be ready real soon, you guys.
Jake, wash your hands first.
Oh, man.
So, Van, you too.
Oh, man.
Barbara Jean, we're back. Barbara Jean. I left. Don't try and find me. Barbara Jean. P.S. Don't worry, I'm at my house. Barbara Jean, what are you doing?
Having a carrot teeny. We're out of olives.
Get your butt back over at the house. There's a lot of Thanksgiving traditions I'm giving up, but I don't want to give up eating.
Where'd y'all go?
Well, we went to play football. My team won. The other team had to eat a bug. Van gagged a little.
But nobody asked me to come.
You were cooking.
But nobody thought to ask me to come.
Well, I thought about it, then I decided not to. Feel better?
Reba, if it had been you, there's no way that everybody would just leave without asking you to come. I mean, if we do something without you, all anyone talks about is how you're not there. You're this really powerful presence hanging over everything. You're like Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
What's your point?
You're always the center of the family. And today I just wanted to be the center of the family. That's why I didn't invite you in the first place.
Barbara Jean, do you know why I'm the center of the family? They're my family. Just like when Brock's mom comes into town, she's the center of the family. May she choke on her drambuie. All right, let me put it to you this way. Right now, in our little world, I'm the turkey and you're the gravy. But maybe someday, when Henry gets a little older, maybe he has a little brother or sister, you'll be the turkey.
Well, where will you be then?
God willing, far, far away. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this blessing we're about to receive. Thank you so much for taking care of our family and keeping them healthy and safe. You've been so sweet to us this year. Thank you for the wonderful food that we're about to eat and for this wonderful turkey. And also for the gravy. Amen.
Amen.
Let's begin.
Okay, who's hungry? Okay, good. All right, who wants white meat?
I want a turkey leg.
White meat's coming. Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Cheyenne, we're gonna be in Denver for 2 days. How much stuff did you pack?
Well, I need it because I dress according to my mood.
Feels like you're gonna be awfully moody.
Don't make me pack my angry clothes. Not sexy. Mom, thank you so much for watching Elizabeth this weekend.
Oh, you're welcome. But when you get back, you need to take her to preschool. The teachers are starting to think she's mine.
At your age, Mrs. H? Hey, thanks for watching her. I better get these out to the car.
Yeah, I don't want to miss our plane. I am so excited about going to Denver.
Oh, you are gonna love my apartment.
I know.
Reba, big news. Kira's coming over any second to tell you she met a boy. I know. Now, she told me not to tell you, but I had to tell you because she met a boy. Anyway, she's gonna ask you something, but I already said no, so back me up, okay? Oh, so the penguin says to the bartender, "This is my most casual outfit."
Barbara Jean, did you run over here to beat me to Mom?
No. Okay, knock it off. So you met a boy.
Yeah, his name is Chip. He's really cute and really nice and super smart.
Oh, he sounds great.
Yeah, but here's the deal. The problem is I can't see him.
And it's not because they're from different worlds. You know, like Danny and Sandy in Greece. She's all like, "Danny," you know, and he's like, "Well, I don't know, Sandy, you know, maybe there's like 2 Danny Zuko's in the phone book, and you know."
No. It's the way you guys have set up the rules. I'm not allowed to be with a boy alone in the house, and you guys are never home.
Oh, I see.
So I was hoping you'd change them.
Hold on to that hope. It'll help you through the tough times.
That's what I told her. Too bad, so sad.
Mom, I could have not said anything and just snuck around to see him, but I didn't. I came to you guys first.
You mean second?
She was listening on the phone.
Well, she's hogging the phone, and I was trying to call my friends.
Mom, haven't I always been responsible? I mean, doesn't that count for something?
Well, you got a good point. Okay, you can bring your boyfriend here after school, but there is one rule that's not up for debate, and it's the same rule your grandma gave me. No boys upstairs and no hanky-panky downstairs.
Grandma said hanky-panky.
Actually, she said something else that I'm not comfortable repeating.
Thanks, Mom.
Ah, you're welcome.
You're welcome from the both of us. Okay. You need to skip to my loo, my darling. A girl her age cannot be trusted with a boy. He'll say she looks pretty, she'll blush, and the next thing you know, she's in the back seat of his B210 parked underneath the water tower.
Kira is my daughter, and I trust her.
Oh, and I don't get a vote in this?
You're a step-parent. You get half a vote. So, everybody in favor, say aye. Aye. Everybody opposed, say nay.
Nay.
I win.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Kira. Sorry I can't talk. I gotta run to the market, get something for dinner. If you want to stay, I'd love to have you.
Sure. Can Chip stay too?
Is Chip here? Oh, I'd love to meet him.
Okay. Mom, he's taken. Chip, this is my mom.
Hi, nice to meet you. How are you? Well, at least he wore nice underwear. Kira, can I see you in the kitchen for a minute?
Sure, Mom. Isn't he cute?
Probably. What's your guess?
He's so smart and so sweet. And Mom, the best part, he's in a band.
Well, that is the best part. Look, Kira, I've changed my mind. I don't feel comfortable with Chip coming over here after school unsupervised.
What? You just said this morning that I could.
Yeah, you know, but in order for a boy to date my daughter, I have to be able to pick him out of a lineup.
You said you trusted me.
I know, but I have to trust him too. Why doesn't he say anything? That's just not polite.
Chip's shy.
Shy. Yeah. You know, jails are full of shy boys.
You're just judging him on his looks.
Hey, don't blame me. You're the one that let me see him. Okay, fine. He can stay.
Where are you going?
In the living room with Willie Nelson here.
I thought you were going to the market.
Nah, I don't need to.
Then what are we gonna have for dinner?
Gum and Cheetos. Okay, fine. Give me my coupons. Forgot my keys. Notice how unexpected that was? I do that a lot, you know, just pop in unexpected like. So I'll see you. Or maybe I won't.
And that was the elevator to my apartment. This is the hallway to my apartment. Oh, this thing's great. You put an empty can of anything on this, the next day, gone. And this is the door to my apartment. And this is my apartment.
Oh.
Well, isn't it great?
Well, it totally matches the hallway and the elevator.
Oh, check this out. Huh? Mm-hmm. Huh? I can sit here and watch TV. I can sit here and watch TV. Uh-oh. I'm a little thirsty. I hope I can see the TV from the kitchen. I can. I can see the TV from the bathroom if I leave the door open and angle the mirror. Scared the heck out of the maid once.
Well, you haven't gotten much chance to do decorating, have you?
Are you kidding? Look, they had the fire evacuation plan in this frame, but I chucked it. So do you like the place?
I think I'm going to. It's weird. Every time I talk to you on the phone, I picture what this place is gonna look like, and well, now I know. It's like this.
You know, when I talk to you on the phone, I'm usually nude.
Yeah, you tell me that every time. Van, those curtains close, right?
Oh, look at there. Curtains. So, you want to see the bedroom?
Well, don't you need to practice?
That's what I'm talking about. Daddy needs a little practice. Oh, shoot. Football practice. I gotta go. All right, we'll finish the tour later.
Okay, I think I'm gonna straighten up a little bit.
No, don't. Just relax. Okay? If you're hungry, there's cereal, but the prizes are gone. And when I come back, we'll go out and see Denver, or...
Finish the tour.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Oh, hey, and if you drink a can of soda, put it out here.
And you can watch TV from here.
Oh, that was ridiculous. 1 hour in the express lane.
Mom, I got my own problems. I want to watch Pokemon, and Kira and her friend are hogging the living room again.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey, but they have to be in there.
Why can't they just go back upstairs?
Did you say back upstairs?
Yeah, they were in Kira's room for like an hour. Now they won't let me downstairs while Pokemon's on.
Jake, are you sure?
I think I know when Pokemon's on.
She is in big trouble.
Wait. You can't tell her I told you.
Why? She broke the rules. She has to be punished.
She'll be mean to me. Last time I tattled on her, she drew hair under my armpits with a marker while I was sleeping.
Okay, I won't tell her it was you. Did she draw the mustache on you last week?
No, that was me. I got my eye on this girl in the 8th grade.
Okay, Kira, play date's over.
What?
You heard me. He didn't, but you did.
Okay. Well, Chip, I guess I'll call you later. Sorry about my mom. This is one of those things I was telling you about. What was that all about?
I think you know.
What, that you don't keep promises?
Remember the rules we talked about?
Yeah.
Pretty easy to understand, uh-huh.
I guess.
Yeah? Did you break the rules?
No.
Maybe I wasn't clear. Did you go upstairs with that boy?
Oh, that is clear. No.
Kira, I want you to tell me the truth.
Okay.
Look me right in the eye.
Okay.
Did you go upstairs with that boy?
No.
Oh! Look, I know something you don't know I know, so given I know it, you should tell me.
Okay.
Do you have something to tell me?
No.
Oh!
Mom, I don't lie to you. You know me.
The Kira I know wouldn't bring a boy home that A, is in a band, and B, looks like he's in a band.
He's nice.
I don't know that. I don't even know if he has a face. You're grounded. I don't want you to ever see him again.
That's so unfair. I didn't do anything wrong. Why do you treat me like this?
Tell Willie to write a song about it. And she lied about it, so I grounded her. Couldn't think of anything else to do.
I think we should kill the boy.
You wouldn't get away with it.
I don't know. This is Texas.
I'm pretty sure you'd never see it coming.
Quick question. When you grounded her, was it just for your house or was it for all our houses?
All of ours.
Yeah, see, there's the rub. Yeah. You want me to punish her for something I would have never allowed in the first place. You invited the boy over. I mean, why not just put on some soft music and give him a nice bottle of Chianti?
Barbara Jean, let it go.
Reba, I tried to warn you. Teenagers are just adults with energy.
You know, as Kira's father, I think I should have been included in this.
Oh, yeah, what would you have done?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I would have got some of my golf buddies together and thrown a scare into the boy.
Yeah. The sight of 4 middle-aged men in plaid speeding up the driveway in a golf cart would scare off anybody.
Man, something smells like Cheyenne. You're cooking.
Yep, I've been busy. Van, what do you think about the place?
Hey, look at that. Pink. Lavender. And whatever that color is.
Just a little touch of home.
Little. Is there anything left at home?
Well, the apartment was just so boring before. It didn't make a statement of who you are, and now it does.
Oh, it sure does, but unfortunately that statement is, I'm Cheyenne.
No,
it's not. This isn't just my stuff. This is our stuff, honey.
Well, I don't know if you realize this, but most of the stuff at home is your stuff.
That is so not true.
You have teddy bears on your bed.
Well, guess what? You have teddy bears on your bed now, too.
Cheyenne, I cannot have teddy bears on my bed. I'm a professional football player.
Van, I cannot believe that you are making such a big deal about just a few decorating things.
A few It looks like I live in a candle store. Cheyenne, I liked it better the way it was.
Well, I like it better this way.
Yeah, but see, Cheyenne, you don't live here. It's true, Cheyenne. You don't live here. I do. Should have known you'd come here and try to Cheyenne up the place.
Why would you say that? I don't do that, Van. Well, I am sorry that I didn't react the way you wanted to your precious apartment. How did you want me to react, Van?
Well, I wanted you to like it.
Well, I wanted to like it too, but I didn't. So I added some stuff.
Well, I don't need stuff for it to feel like home. No one does. Except maybe Elton John. All I need is that. That picture right there. I can sit on this couch for hours looking at that picture during commercials. And when I do, it is home.
Can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I understand that. How about before I leave, I'll take all this stuff down.
Nah, don't worry. As soon as you leave, I'm gonna put all this stuff out on the table in the hallway. Hey, I'm starving. Let's go get something to eat.
No, I'm cooking.
I know.
Hey, Jake, what you watching?
The Weather Channel. More rain for Brazil.
Listen, honey, I know it was pretty scary telling me about your sister, but telling the truth is very important. So I got you this.
Wow, a Game Boy SP. Where'd you get it?
Well, I got it for your grandma for her birthday, but she kept trying to use it to make phone calls.
Well, Kier called me a crybaby. Who's crying now?
What do you mean?
Well, I really wanted to come downstairs and hang out with him, but she said get lost and called me a baby.
I thought you said she called you a crybaby.
Yeah, because then I started to cry.
Oh. Jake, I thought you said they were upstairs and you were downstairs.
You're mistaken.
Was that before or after Chip and Kira locked you in your bedroom?
After.
That's interesting. Because you didn't say anything about them locking you in your bedroom. I just made that up.
Mom, please, I'm trying to concentrate on
Jacob Mitchell Hart! Are you lying to me?
No.
Did you lie about your sister and Chip being upstairs?
Yes. Nobody mocks me and gets away with it.
So did that boy even go upstairs?
No. And I didn't know he was a boy. I thought he was an ugly girl.
You are in big trouble, mister. No TV, no dessert, and Grandma gets her cell phone back. I don't know if you've heard, but there's more rain for Brazil. So I got a funny little story to tell you. Turns out that I got some unreliable information from my mole.
In other words, I wasn't lying.
Yes. So your grounding is off, And because I'm a big enough person to admit I was wrong, you can't be mad at me.
Gee, then everything's all better.
Kara, I am so sorry. Honey, when you have a child, you try very hard to teach it good values. And then one day you blink and they're all grown up and you think to yourself, did I teach them enough? Did I do a good job?
Yes, you did a good job. You should trust me.
Honey, decisions about dating are adult decisions. And as much as I love you and trust you, and as smart as you are, you're still just a 15-year-old girl. I make bad decisions and I'm 29.
I looked you straight in the eye and told you the truth over and over again, but you didn't believe me.
I know that now. I'm sorry. Wish there was a way I could make it up to you.
Yeah, me too.
Jake was the mole.
What?
He's at the house. Knock yourself out. They should have been here 20 minutes ago.
Reba, how do you expect me to sketch you for my art class when you keep walking around? Now hold still. Ooh, sultry. Yeah. Very romance novel. I'm gonna draw Fabio standing behind you.
Barbara Jean, that can wait. Did Van say how serious his injury is?
He just said it was his back and the team was sending him home.
Ooh, perfect. Say home again.
Home. Barbara Jean, go home!
Okay, look, you guys. I don't have very much time. Van's on his way in. But listen, I have to warn you. Do not make fun of his injury.
Why? What is it?
He broke his butt. Well, he actually fractured his tailbone, but let's face it, he broke his butt.
Guys, that is not funny.
I know, no.
Come on, Reba. It's just that we're relieved that it's not serious.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, man.
Hey, everybody.
So it was your back, huh?
Yeah, the back. The back-ish.
Hey, buddy, why don't you come on and take a seat?
No, thanks. I'll just stand.
Oh, honey, don't be silly. You have to get off your feet.
Seriously, Van? Pull up a donut?
All right, you know what? This is not funny.
No,
Sorry.
absolutely not.
You're right.
Sorry about that.
It has a leak.
Van, don't be embarrassed about your butt ring. When I was on the high school volleyball team, I took a ball right to the eye, just whammo, you know? And for the rest of the season, I had to wear these huge bug-eyed goggles that everyone made fun of. It would have been nice if someone had mentioned I only had to wear them during games.
Cheyenne, I want to go back to Denver.
Okay, no, wait. Van's hurt. And in this very tough time, he deserves to be treated with dignity and respect.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. H. Now, if y'all had enough fun, I'm going to go upstairs and get some rest.
Hey, buddy. Hey, man, feel
fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Where do you think that doctor is?
I don't know, but he better clear me to play soon. The team needs me.
Well, don't you have that second stringy guy?
Steve Worley? Worley don't do what Van do.
Sorry about the wait, folks.
No problem. So, what's up, Doc? I bet you hear that a lot.
Not since the last time you were here.
Hey, you know, I don't know if it's from the massive dose of x-rays you shot through me, but my tailbone feels terrific.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all that, Van. The tailbone looks fine, but there's something else I needed to get a good look at.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know if we need to be showing my mother-in-law my onion.
It's not your onion, it's this.
Wow, you can't show that!
That's your spine. Have you ever heard of spinal stenosis? It's a narrowing of the spinal canal. Has anyone ever mentioned this to you before?
My spine is getting narrow? Is that why my pants been feeling looser?
No. Stenosis is a fairly common condition. Most people that have it never even know it.
So you're saying it's not a problem?
Usually there's no problem leading a normal, active life. There is a problem, however, if you're in a contact sport, like football.
What do you mean?
Well, no team will take the risk. A player could become paralyzed because of this. They'd be liable. If they had known about this, there's no way they would have put you on the team.
Well, then don't tell him.
I have to tell them. They sent you here, Van.
Van? Who's Van? My name's Worley, Steve Worley. Now, ladies, if you'll come with me, Mrs. Worley, Mother Worley.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, guys, how was the drive?
Oh, we went by the park and saw these little tiny kids playing football. And I thought, children, stop. Don't fall in love with this sport. Your dreams are just gonna get ripped to shreds like a bunny in a wood chipper.
Actually, you didn't really think it. You kind of yelled it.
Good. The truth should be yelled. Maybe that's what I'll do with my life now. I'll just wander around and yell the truth. But maybe not at little kids, because they start to cry.
Man, look on the bright side. The doctor said this wouldn't affect your daily life. You can still do all the things that a regular person can do.
Mrs. H, I don't want to be a regular person.
Actually, Dad, I hate to bring this up, but I was hoping I could ask you some financial questions. We got to figure out what we're gonna do money-wise now that Van's not gonna be working.
Well, I can help. When your dad was fiddling around with that silly golf career, I got quite good at stretching a buck.
First of all, winning the Presto Dry Cleaner Invitational wasn't fiddling around. Okay, and Van is still under contract. He gets paid for the rest of the year.
Really?
Yeah, so stop worrying, you two.
Yeah, that's right. Stop worrying. Everything is just gonna be hunky-dory.
Come on, Barbara Jean, let's see if we can find somebody else for you to cheer up.
Okay, look, Van, I'm gonna go to the pharmacy to pick up your prescriptions for those anti-inflammatories and those painkillers. Oh, and that topical cream for your bottom.
Thank you!
So how's it going there, buddy?
Oh, never felt better. Just sitting here trying to decide what kind of cigarettes I'm gonna start smoking.
Look, Van, this is a tough situation, and I'm not going to pretend like it isn't. But it's a mother-in-law's job to point out the good in every situation.
Oh, I thought it was a mother-in-law's job to make butt jokes about her son-in-law.
We wear many hats. Okay, here's the good. You've had a great career, you've got a wonderful family, and now you get to find something new and exciting to do with the rest of your life.
But football was all I had.
That's what you think today. You'll find something. God never closes a door without opening another one.
Lucky strikes.
What?
Yeah, that's the kind of cigarettes I'm gonna start smoking. Lucky strikes. The irony will just be magnificent.
No. Look, you'll get your buyout from the team, and that'll give you some extra time to figure things out.
All right, I wasn't gonna say this in front of Cheyenne, but there's not gonna be a buyout. You heard the doctor. This was a pre-existing condition.
So?
So I talked to my agent, and that means the team doesn't owe me anything.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So much for being hunky-dory. No football, no money, no life. I'll have to look forward to now is a lifetime of topical creams. For my bottom!
You know who I blame for Van not getting paid? The lawyers. Yeah, they run everything. And they're in bed with the doctors. Now, the people who should be running things, the dentists, nobody comes to.
But aren't the dentists in bed with the dental hygienist?
So no settlement, no job. Great, my life is turning out perfectly. Pretty soon, I will have achieved my dream of being the prettiest girl in the homeless shelter.
Come on, sweetie, you put some money away, and we'll do whatever we can to help out until Van figures out what he's gonna do next.
Well, that's just it. What is Van gonna do now?
Ta-da!
Oh, good Lord. He's become a pimp.
Y'all wondering what I'm doing in a rich guy's coat? Well, I'll tell you, I'm a rich guy.
What are you talking about?
Talking about being rich, baby. The team gave me the settlement.
Whoa, hold on a second. I thought they were off the hook because it was a pre-existing condition.
That's what their lawyer was saying, but my agent said they didn't find it when I had my first physical. And then it got kind of dull and I dozed off. All I know is when I woke up, I was rich.
I gotta sit down.
So I don't have to pretend that it's all gonna work out, because it actually is gonna work out?
Yes. And Mrs. H, your support through this was huge. You were my rock. Come here. I also like to publicly apologize to God for calling him fat, mean, and stupid.
How much did you get?
Guess.
Van.
Wrong. 100 grand.
Van, don't joke.
I'm not. I got 100,000 bucks minus the coat.
Whoa, 100 grand?
Well, minus the coat.
Man, don't take it off. I have to draw you.
Mrs. H, you were right. God does not close one door without opening another. And sometimes behind that other door is a guy holding a check with a 1 and 4 zeros on it.
1 and 4 zeros is 10,000.
5. 1 and 5 zeros.
Rich! I've gone from like homeless to rich in like 2 seconds. Rich is way better.
I know. I can finally get that boat I've always wanted.
You never wanted a boat.
I know. I can finally want a boat.
You guys should travel, see the world.
Knock it off. He didn't pick that money off a tree out front. It's to replace his salary. This money should be invested.
I'm with Mrs. H. Investing is the way to go. I just need to decide if I want to invest in baseball cards or antique swords.
Antique swords.
Invest in something safe.
Baseball cards.
Baseball cards.
I came into some money once, and as I was all set to blow it on a pair of diamond earrings, something I'd wanted since I was a little girl. But I knew it was foolish. So instead, I used it to secure my future.
You are so wise. I'm gonna draw you as an owl. With Fabio behind you.
Mom, what'd you do with the money?
I put your dad through dental school. Nobody say nothing!
Hey, Mom, listen.
I love that song. Yeah. What's that?
Well, it's a guitar.
I realize it's a guitar, Kira. They did teach us a little something in Moron school. I meant, where'd you get it?
Dan bought it for me.
Why would he do that?
Well, yesterday I would have said it's because he's an idiot, but today it's because he's the best brother-in-law on the planet.
Mom, you gotta come upstairs and see the Xbox Van got me.
Okay, what's going on? You can't use it up there. You don't even have a TV in your room.
I do now. I put it right next to my new foosball table.
Don't break it. It's going back.
Yeah, I mean, why would he need an Xbox? You can't write a beautiful song about your mother on an Xbox. Like, I love my mommy! Yeah!
Work on it. Where's Van?
He's out.
Yeah, out of his mind. Do you know he's out buying stuff like they're gonna quit making it?
Uh-huh. Hey, Mom, which one of these cars goes better with my eyes?
You're looking at cars? Yeah. Yesterday you were practically in tears worrying about not having any money.
Well, yesterday we didn't have any money, but now we do, so I'm not worried. I'm giddy.
No. You don't want to be giddy. Giddy lives next door to Reckless, who shares an apartment with Stupid.
I know, yeah. Oh, sweet Van. I complimented him on the coat, and he just took it off and gave it to me like a movie.
I hope nobody compliments him on his pants.
He's gonna get a new coat on the way home from buying Brock golf clubs. That kid is generous to a fault.
Yes, to a fault. He needs to use that money to live on until he can find a new career.
Mom, there is plenty of money left.
Cheyenne, this is just day one. All this stuff has to go back.
Do not touch the coat. No, come on.
Oh, hey, Mrs. H. You don't need to be doing that. If the carpet's dirty, I'll just buy you a new house.
Well, that's awfully crazy of you, Van, but no thanks. We need to talk.
Okay, but my team's on the TV in a few minutes. Hey, listen to this. Somebody emailed them and said they should all wear a little sticker with my number on the back of their helmets. Okay, it was me. Hey, where is everybody?
Well, let's see. Cheyenne is looking at cars. Kira's up playing her guitar.
Yeah.
Brock's golfing. Jake's playing his new video games. And Barbara Jean's walking up down the street in her new coat yelling, "Check it out!"
Good, because I didn't want them to get jealous that I got you your own pizza.
You got me a pizza.
With everything on it.
Van, I can't accept your pizza.
Are you mad because I didn't get you something nicer?
We need to talk.
Well, I'm not talking unless you eat your pizza. Who will blink first? Yeah! I got you. You should have seen your face. You're hilarious when you pout.
Van, these are completely, gorgeous.
Well, you said you always wanted diamond earrings. Now you got them.
I don't know what to say.
Just say what's in your heart, Mrs. H.
Okay. Have you lost what little sense God gave you?
I think I figured out why you don't get a lot of gifts.
Van, you can't do this. You can't rip through this money like a bag of sour cream potato chips.
I'm not ripping through it.
50,000 goes pretty quick.
It's $100 grand.
You have to pay a little thing called taxes. You gotta pay taxes on that money, and it'll be about half.
Half?
Yeah.
I thought Bush was looking out for us rich guys.
And what's left after taxes will have to last until you figure out what you're gonna do with the rest of your life. It's not to blow on a bunch of dumb gifts and one gorgeous pair of earrings. What's going on?
I don't know. I guess I just like the way it felt when I gave people stuff. The way they looked at me with that look.
What look?
That look everybody used to give me when I had a good game or got written about in the paper. You know, like I was a hero.
That look.
And now that I'm not playing football anymore, I'm not gonna get that look. I go back to being dumb old Van.
I think I know a way you can get that hero look without being Diamond Jim Brady.
Me too. Rescue someone from a burning building. But there are never any fires in this neighborhood.
You want people to look at you like a hero? Then be a hero. Do something heroic with your life. Deal with this tough time that you're going through. Find your way.
I don't know what's gonna happen to me, Mrs. H.
It's okay. Heroes never do. Now here, I want you to take these back. Later. Because right now I'm gonna run up and down the street with Bart and Jean. Check it out! Now, previously on Reba.
I don't have very much time. Van's on his way in. But listen, I have to warn you, do not make fun of his injury.
Why? What is it?
He broke his butt.
Have you ever heard of spinal stenosis? It's a narrowing of the spinal canal.
My spine is getting narrow? Is that why my pants been feeling looser? No football, no money, no life. All I got to look forward to now is a lifetime of topical creams. For my bottom!
I'm lonely.
You scared the heck out of me. I could have hit you. See?
I came to see Van. What with his spine being narrow and his football career being over, talking to him makes me feel better about my life.
I'm really worried about him. I've never seen him so down.
Stay right! There is no better place to be on a beautiful day than a smoke-filled bowling alley.
Ben, are you okay? I mean, if you're still down about losing your football career, we can talk about it.
No, I'm fine. I've been through all the stages of grief. Denial, anger, unusually dry skin. And now I feel like a moist new man.
Okay, great. So I guess the next step is for you to find a new job.
A job?
Yep.
No way. I finally have all the time to do those things I missed when I was off playing football. Not just bowling. Important things. Going to the movies, seeing old friends, a little like gardening. I'm telling you, life is a cabaret now that I've got a narrow spine.
He's so happy. Wish I had a narrow spine.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
I'm signing up for another evening class, so I'm not gonna be home until after dinner.
Another class? What are you trying to do? Graduate by morning? Honey, are you sure you can deal with all that, plus Elizabeth, too?
You're right, I can't. So can you pick up Elizabeth from preschool from now on?
No, I have a job, and you have a husband. He can't be doing anything that's more important than watching his daughter.
Okay, I'm off to the lake. It's a huge body of water with a house fish. Guess what I'm doing?
Picking Elizabeth up at 3.
Nope, the license says fishing.
Wait, let me get this straight. You want me to skip class to pick up Elizabeth so you can go fishing?
Yes, thank you, honey. You're the best wife ever.
You're picking up Elizabeth.
Shoot him!
Man, she's working really hard, and working hard builds character. You ought to try it sometime.
You know what else builds character? Fresh trout.
Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't you get Elizabeth and take her down to the grocery store and pick some up for dinner?
All right, fine. I'll buy fish. But I'm bringing a cooler full of beer to do it.
Catch me a carton of eggs while you're at it.
Hey, Reba, big news. I figured out why I was so lonely. I was so lonely because I was alone.
Oh, Barbara Jean, you can't be lonely as long as there's voices in your head.
No, Reba, I was seized with loneliness because I miss Brock. Yeah, and so I was thinking about asking him to move back in with me.
Wow, really?
Well, actually, I was thinking about asking you if you'd ask him for me.
Me? And why would I do that?
Because you're my bestest friend in the whole wide world. Reba, please.
No, Barbara Jean, this is between you and Brock. I mean, if you're sure you want him back, ask him yourself. If you're just lonely, get a dog. Van, I'm home.
Elizabeth is asleep.
Oh, sorry. I'll try to keep it down. Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I live here.
I'm Elizabeth's nanny.
Elizabeth. Oh. Van! Sorry.
Van!
Oh, hey, Mrs. H. Oh, I see you've met Penny, our nanny.
You hired a nanny? I can't believe Cheyenne approved of this.
Oh, that's the beauty of her being so busy. She doesn't even know. Penny is great. Elizabeth's toys have never been cleaner. And she's teaching Jake Spanish.
Es verdad, Mama. Me gusta a Penny.
Buen acento, Jake.
Gracias, Penny.
Well, thank you very much, Penny, but Van can take over from here.
No, I can't. Penny is making chicken mole. That is the most complicated sauce in the Spanish language.
You want me to leave?
Oh, yes, take the rest of the day off with pay.
I love to, but I don't work for you.
Hey, I can't stay. I've got to get my lab stuff, but I will be back around. Hello?
You must be the mother. I will raise your daughter right.
Van hired a nanny.
What, Van?
Thank me later, honey. Have fun at school.
You know what? I've got class right now, but remind me to yell at you later.
Okay. Yeah, right. I'm not gonna even remind her.
Van,
Oh, Mrs. H, what is the big deal? I want the best for my daughter. This way, Elizabeth gets to have quality time with me and quantity time with a professional.
the big deal is, I thought you were watching Elizabeth. That's your job.
I outsourced it.
Oh.
Come on, Mrs. H. Lots of people hire help. Why should I wait till I'm old to take some time off?
Ben! Ándale! Vamos!
I gotta go. Jake is El Mato. I'm learning Spanish too.
There is a Mr. Brock at the back door. Also, there is a sullen young lady named Kira who wants her allowance with no questions about school, her friends, or her life. I will have a little chat with her while I make the polenta.
Who's that woman? And why did she pat me down with an antiseptic wipe?
Well, we've all wanted to.
It was actually quite refreshing.
What do I owe this inconvenience?
Well, I'm having dinner at Barbara Jean's tonight, like we do every week, and I'm thinking about doing something a little risky.
Spending more than $4 on a bottle of wine?
No, asking her if I can move back in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, it's a little risky because I don't want to put any pressure on her. I mean, she's the one who kicked me out, and if she wants me to move back, she'll ask me to move back. But she hasn't asked me to move back, and it's killing me. And so I was wondering if you could, you know, kind of ask her if she's thinking about it.
So you want me to ask her to go to the prom with you?
Metaphorically, yes.
Look, Brock, you're not the only one a little nervous about all this.
Oh, my gosh. Are you saying that Barbara Jean has told you that she's thinking about asking me to move back in?
Yes, but don't you dare tell her I told you. When she does ask you, you act surprised. Not that fake, ridiculous surprise that you have. I mean, really surprised.
Oh, Reba, I just have... Oh, Brock. Hi.
Barbara Jean, wow! What a surprise.
What's up, Barbara Jean?
Well, I have some news, and since you're both here, I may as well tell you at the same time.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But it's okay. Please, continue.
The step that I'm about to take is a big commitment emotionally, and I know that there is always the possibility of getting hurt. But I have decided that it is worth the risk.
So, Barbara Jean, is there something you wanted to tell me?
Yes. I got a dog!
Wow, that is a surprise.
You got a dog? That's the big news?
Yeah. Oh, don't you just love her, Brock? Guess her name.
Cat food?
Brock! Her name is Brock!
You named her Brock? Get a short leash.
You named the dog Brock, but it's a girl.
Well, she spells it with a Q. Oh, does Brock want to live with Barbara Jean, huh? Yes, Brock does. Yes, he does. And you better not hog the whole bed. No. Oh, no, no. And not only is she cute, she is great protection.
Yeah, if you get attacked by a tiny little man.
Oh, no, she is scared of men. And yes, I could have gotten a bigger dog, but stop it, Brock. But, you know, bigger dog, bigger mess. I'm not even sure she poops.
So, Barbara Jean, honey, is there anything else that you wanted to ask me? You know, anything at all? I have no idea what.
Nope. Well, I better get get home, it is time for Brock's worm medication. It's rectal. Now, Reba, I can't thank you enough for the idea. If you hadn't suggested I get a dog, I'd still be lonely. Does Brock want to give Reba a kiss? Huh? Did he? No, I didn't think so. No, I didn't think so, because Brock only loves Barbara Jean.
Maybe you ought to get a cat.
And that's how it was.
Wow. Well, I guess my life is better than growing up in a rebel camp in the jungles of Colombia. Mom, thanks for raising me with a roof, heat, and running water.
Penny, that was amazing.
No big deal. I grew up in Seattle.
I'm kind of getting used to having you around. Hey, would you hand me the garbage under the sink?
I would love to, but I don't work for you.
Cheyenne. Honey, wake up. How's class going?
Oh, no. Mom. I was just so tired. I only meant to close my eyes for like 5 minutes. I was in this dream where Van bowled so much all his teeth fell out. You ever have that one?
Cheyenne, you're stretching yourself way too thin.
Oh, it's more than stretching, Mom. It's cardio, it's diet, it's a lot of work.
I meant with your classes. Honey, you gotta slow down.
No, I don't have a choice. I have to graduate early. I'm the breadwinner now.
What?
Yeah. My husband's not working. I have to pay the bills and put a roof over our heads and buy clothes and food and everything.
Oh, honey, no, you don't. I do. Cheyenne, pushing yourself beyond your limits isn't going to help anything.
Well, I don't know what else to do.
Talk to your husband. Tell him how you feel.
What kind of wife do you think I am? My husband is going through a very difficult time, and the last thing he needs is me on his back. He has a weak spine.
He has a narrow spine. Your father has the weak spine.
How am I supposed to tell my husband that I think his life is peaked, that his best days are behind him?
Well, you don't have to say it like that. Van had a great time playing football, but it wasn't going to last forever. He'll find something. Maybe nothing as glamorous as football, but life isn't about glamour. It's about finding the little moments of joy that you can share with your family.
I know. I feel like we've had such bad luck.
No. You've had good luck. Bad luck would have been if the doctors hadn't have found it, and Van could have really gotten hurt.
I never thought of it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Top that, Penny.
Here you go. Mm-hmm. So, more salt, huh? Here.
Hey, Barbara Jean. Hey. Gee, honey, do you really think it's sanitary to have a dog up on the counter?
Well, of course it is. Here, taste this.
Needs a little salt.
Yeah. Brock, no!
Hey, but
No, not you, Brock. Brock. Well, that is just so funny. She only does that to you.
And yet, with one stomp of my foot, I could put an end to it. Barbara Jean, can't we put the dog out in the yard or something?
No!
Gosh.
It's dark out there. Now, you are both important to me, and I want you to get to know each other better. Now, you go sit down, and I'll get the appetizers. Yeah. something nice to her.
You know, my favorite part of Old Yeller was the ending.
Brock!
Now what? I can't talk to a dog.
What is wrong with you? Why are you being so hostile to her?
Because I was here first.
What?
Why'd you get a dog, Barbara Jean?
Because you need a license to get a monkey.
You never wanted a dog before.
Well, I was never lonely before.
Yeah, but you don't have to be lonely. We've been making really good progress. You know, I thought that you were gonna invite me to move back. Instead, you replaced me with Brock.
Well, I got scared. Okay? You know, suddenly everything just became very real to me. And Brock, I kept thinking, what if you do come back? And I get all happy like I was before, and then everything just falls apart again. I really couldn't take that.
Honey, I love you. I'm not gonna let things fall apart, I swear.
You promise?
I promise.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I love you, Barbara Jean.
Oh, I love you too, Brock. Well, not you, Brock. Brock. You know what? I just realized this could get confusing. From now on, I'm gonna call you Reba.
I love it. I love it. Say, can we put Reba outside?
Oh, I think so. There you go, Reba. Reba, no! No!
Oh!
We need to talk. Now. This has been coming for a long time. Bring it on, Cheyenne.
Not you, him.
Stop yelling. You know who has the right to yell? 15,000 refugees, that's who.
Okay, who wants to go upstairs and play a nice game of Monopoly?
Monopoly is the game of capitalist pigs.
Viva la revolution!
That's what I'm saying.
All right, Parcheesi it is.
What's going on?
It's about the nanny.
Let me guess. You want to get rid of her?
No, actually, I want to keep her.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna need someone to help us take care of Elizabeth while you're looking for a job.
A job? What is it with everybody wanting me to get a job? I'm not ready.
Well, when are you gonna be ready, Van?
I don't know, Cheyenne. Forgive me if I'm not rushing out looking for a job that I'm gonna hate to replace the one I love.
Well, you can't fish for the rest of your life.
I can if someone teaches me.
But I thought that you were adjusting.
Well, I'm not. I'm doing all this stuff to distract myself so I don't have to sit here and think about how screwed up everything is. Football was all I knew, Cheyenne. I think I need to be lost for a little while.
Cheyenne, is everything okay?
Yeah, no, everything's great.
Dinner is ready.
You know what? I'm gonna get lost after the chicken mole.
Is that dinner for me too?
Sure, you too. Will you show me where you keep the cheese grater?
I'd love to, but I don't work for you.
Walked in. She looked exhausted, carrying the weight of a woman who managed the lives of a very complicated, extended family tree. She wore a simple blouse and jeans, her red hair perfectly styled, but her eyes betraying a deep desire for a quiet vacation. "Look, sweetie," Reba said smoothly, having overheard the entire cowardly exchange. "Why do I not tell her?" Cheyenne and Van both exhaled loudly, their relief palpable. "Thank you," they chorused together. Before Reba could formulate a plan of attack, the front door burst open. A voice, loud, cheerful, and filled with an almost terrifying amount of energy, echoed through the house. "Hey, hey, hey!" Barbara Jean marched into the kitchen like a conquering hero. She was holding a massive, greasy cardboard box aloft like a trophy. Ever since she had lost a significant amount of weight, Barbara Jean moved differently. She no longer walked. She glided, bounced, and strutted. She wore brightly colored workout gear that clung to her new frame, her blonde hair bouncing with every step. "Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to?" Barbara Jean sang out, setting the heavy box down on the kitchen island with a triumphant thud. "Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning." Reba stared at the pizza box, then slowly raised her eyes to Barbara Jean. The sheer volume of food this woman had consumed over the past few weeks was baffling. Yet her waistline kept shrinking. It defied all known laws of science and nature. "You know, Mom," Cheyenne started tentatively, stepping out from behind Van, "we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us right now." "Oh, I know," Barbara Jean said brightly, waving a dismissive hand. "But I had to take it. It was free." She opened the box, revealing an enormous, heavily laden pie. "Somebody will eat it." Without missing a beat, Van leaned forward. "Dibs." Reba shot Van a withering glare before turning her attention back to Barbara Jean. It was time for an intervention. "You know what, Mom?" Reba said, carefully adopting a supportive, gentle tone. "I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here." Barbara Jean stopped mid-reach, a slice of pepperoni pizza hovering just inches from her mouth. She looked genuinely confused. "What are you talking about? I am very healthy." Reba's patience, which was already stretched incredibly thin, snapped. The gentle approach was abandoned. She pointed a firm finger at the pizza slice. "All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it." Barbara Jean blinked. "What?" "Drop it, Mrs. H," Reba commanded, stepping closer. "Drop it, drop it, drop it." She clapped her hands sharply with every word, exactly as one might command a stubborn golden retriever who had picked up something unmentionable in the yard. "Drop it," Reba insisted one last time. Slowly, reluctantly, Barbara Jean lowered the slice back into the box. "Mrs. H," Reba continued, her voice softening slightly but retaining its firm edge, "I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different?" Before Barbara Jean could answer, a loud, obnoxious voice interrupted Reba's internal monologue. "You who? I am here, and I am thin." Reba blinked, shaking her head as if trying to clear a sudden hallucination. She looked over at Van and Cheyenne, who were both staring blankly. "Yeah," Van muttered, looking at Barbara Jean's new figure, thin as a stick and dumb as one. Reba looked down at the floor, where her grandson, Cooper, and the family dog were playing. "Yikes," Reba murmured. "What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba rubbed her temples. "Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare," she whispered to herself. But the nightmare was entirely real. Barbara Jean threw her arms wide, striking a pose. "You who? I am here, and I am thin." Reba let out a long, heavy sigh. "And the nightmare continues." Barbara Jean, completely oblivious to the tension in the room, suddenly began to sing, her voice echoing off the kitchen tiles. "My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I am a survivor. She struck a dramatic final pose, breathing heavily, clearly extremely pleased with her impromptu musical performance. Van, entirely unmoved by the theatrical display, walked over to the counter and looked at Reba. Mom, make us some pancakes. No, Reba said firmly, turning her back on the pizza box and moving toward the blender. I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk. Van let out a short, barking laugh. Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. Cheyenne slapped Van's arm. Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics. She looked at Reba with genuine concern. She could shatter her hip. Reba turned slowly, her hands gripping the edges of the marble counter. She offered them a tight, terrifyingly calm smile. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. Van and Cheyenne instantly straightened up, stepping away from the counter and suddenly finding the ceiling very interesting to look at. Just then, Brock walked through the back door. He looked slightly disheveled, as he often did these days. Hey, everybody, he announced, stepping into the kitchen. Barbara Jean instantly lit up. I am here and I am. Brock, without even looking at her, walked past her and muttered, Oh, shut up and have a donut. Barbara Jean gasped, looking deeply offended, but Brock was already moving toward the refrigerator. He stopped and looked over at Reba, who was aggressively tossing various green vegetables and strange powders into the blender. Oh, Reba, Brock said, leaning against the counter. You are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Before Reba could answer, Barbara Jean chimed in, leaning over the kitchen island. Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbs. Reba stopped what she was doing. She slowly placed the lid on the blender and looked at the woman who had effectively stolen her husband, moved into her orbit, and was now critiquing her beverage choices. Barbara Jean, Reba said, measuring every syllable carefully. I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, there has to be some sort of limit. As Reba spoke, she noticed something odd. Van and Cheyenne were entirely ignoring her. In fact, they were completely ignoring the conversation. They were both staring, unblinking at Barbara Jean. Reba frowned. Will you stop staring at her? Van blinked, breaking his trance. What? We have been staring at her for, the past 2 hours. Cheyenne nodded in agreement, a look of profound realization washing over her face. Well, she is pretty. I am pretty, Reba said defensively, feeling a sudden, sharp sting to her pride. Well, of course you are, Cheyenne assured her mother quickly. You have always been pretty, but Cheyenne pointed a finger at Barbara Jean. She is new pretty. Reba let out a dry, humorless laugh. Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife. Barbara Jean fluttered her eyelashes, visibly preening under the attention. Van, do you really think that I am new pretty? Oh, yeah, Van said with absolute sincerity. He tilted his head, studying her like a piece of abstract art. You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barbara Jean gasped in pure delight, placing a hand over her heart. Thank you. You are welcome, Van said, satisfied with his compliment. I am going to go make some calls. He turned and headed toward the hallway, entirely missing the incredulous looks exchanged between Reba and Cheyenne. As Van left the room, Cheyenne stepped closer to Barbara Jean, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. So, Barbara Jean. Yeah. Is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, you know? Cheyenne gestured vaguely with her hands, her cheeks flushing a light shade of pink.
Bounce ka bounce.
Van, who had only made it halfway down the hall, suddenly reappeared in the doorway, a look of utter horror on his face. Cheyenne gasped, embarrassed that he had heard her. Van rushed over to his wife, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. A long, slow breath, feeling a massive weight lift off her shoulders. The crisis had been averted, and strangely enough, their bizarre, unconventional family dynamic felt stronger for it. Later that evening, upstairs in their small bedroom, Van sat on the edge of the bed, intensely focused on the television screen. He was watching a late-night sports highlight reel, entirely absorbed in the statistics and the bright flashes of color. The bathroom door creaked open, and Cheyenne stepped out. She walked slowly, her head tilted slightly downward. She was wearing her old, oversized flannel pajamas, the ones covered in faded cartoon bears. But atop her head sat something entirely new and incredibly jarring. It was a wig, a bright, platinum blonde wig, styled in severe, dramatic waves that looked like they belonged on a glamorous movie star from a bygone era, not on a young mother in a suburban bedroom. "Hey, buddy," Cheyenne said softly, her voice carrying a fragile, nervous edge. "What are we watching?" Van did not look away from the screen. "No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go." Cheyenne stood at the foot of the bed, her hands fidgeting nervously with the hem of her pajama shirt. "You are going to pick scissors, are not you?" Van finally tore his eyes away from the television. "Get out!" he yelled playfully, turning his head. He stopped dead. The playful grin vanished from his face, replaced by a look of utter bewilderment. He stared at the giant blonde hairpiece sitting atop his wife's head, blinking rapidly as if trying to clear his vision. "Hey, honey," Cheyenne whispered, offering a small, deeply insecure smile. Van tilted his head, his brow furrowing in deep confusion. "Hey, baby, I need to talk to you." Cheyenne sat down on the edge of the bed, keeping a careful distance. "Oh, honey, I just got the television." She took a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly in her lap. The confident, strong Cheyenne was completely gone, replaced by a vulnerable young woman grappling with the immense pressure of changing bodies and shifting relationship dynamics. "Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest," Cheyenne confessed, her voice breaking slightly on the last word. Van's eyes softened instantly. The confusion vanished, replaced by a fierce, undeniable wave of love and protectiveness. He reached out and gently covered her shaking hands with his own. "No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty." Cheyenne looked down at their joined hands, a single tear slipping down her cheek. "But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." She reached up, tentatively touching the stiff, synthetic fibers of the hairpiece. Felt ridiculous and foreign, completely alien to who she really was. Van moved closer, sliding across the mattress until he was sitting directly beside her. He reached up and gently, carefully, removed the wig from her head. He tossed it onto a nearby chair without a second glance. "Cheyenne, put that down," Van said softly, his voice remarkably steady and mature. He reached out, gently tucking a strand of her real hair behind her ear. His gaze held hers, forcing her to look into his eyes and see the absolute sincerity burning there. "Listen to me," Van began, his tone serious and unwavering. "I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod." Cheyenne flinched slightly, the words stinging for a brief moment before Van continued. "I see my wife," Van said, his voice thick with emotion. He reached out and gently cupped her face in his hands. "And I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas." Cheyenne stared at him, her heart hammering against her ribs. The insecurity that had been eating away at her all day began to dissolve, washed away by the simple, profound truth in his words. "Really?" "Yeah." Van smiled, a genuine, blindingly bright expression of love. "You are beautiful to me because of who you are." Cheyenne let out a wet, shaky laugh, leaning into his touch. Ah, I feel kind of stupid. Van leaned forward and pressed a soft, lingering kiss to her forehead. That is also who you are, and I love it. He wrapped his arms around her, pulling her into a tight, comforting embrace. Cheyenne buried her face in his shoulder, feeling a profound sense of peace settle over her. She did not need to be new pretty or wear ridiculous wigs to keep his attention. She just needed to be herself. Come on, you, Van whispered, pulling back slightly with a mischievous glint in his eye. Where are we going? Cheyenne looked up at him, a genuine smile finally gracing her lips. Oh, we are going upstairs. Van chuckled, pulling her to her feet. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone. Cheyenne reached out and playfully tugged on the collar of his shirt, her confidence entirely restored. She was loved, deeply and truly, just the way she was. And in that moment, standing in her faded pajamas, she felt more beautiful than she ever had before. Sometimes, Cheyenne whispered, her eyes shining with warmth, I want to feel new pretty. The afternoon sun slanted through the large bay windows of the kitchen, casting long, golden rectangles across the polished hardwood floor. It was a comfortable room, the heart of a home that had seen its fair share of chaos, laughter, and blended family dynamics. Yet, on this particular afternoon, the atmosphere was tense. Cheyenne stood near the kitchen island, her arms crossed tightly over her chest, her eyes wide with a mixture of disbelief and sheer exasperation. Beside her stood her husband, Van, who was currently staring into the depths of the refrigerator, as if hoping a miracle might manifest between the empty shelves. That woman is out of control, Cheyenne whispered fiercely, making sure her voice did not carry into the living room. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Van closed the refrigerator door with a soft thud and sighed. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, too, he pointed out, referencing Cheyenne's father, Brock. He walked over to the dining table and picked up 2 small glass dispensers. Look at this. Even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. I mean, who eats straight pepper? Cheyenne shook her head, her blonde hair catching the sunlight. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her. Van's eyes widened in sudden panic. Confronting Barbara Jean was never a simple task, but confronting a newly energized, constantly hungry Barbara Jean was practically a death sentence. No, you tell her, Van countered, stepping back. Rock, paper, scissors. Let us settle this like adults. Cheyenne rolled her eyes but raised her fist. Fine. But, Van, you know you are going to lose. Not this time, Van said confidently, bouncing on the balls of his feet. 1, 2, 3. On the count of 3, Cheyenne's hand flattened into paper, while Van's 2 fingers extended into his ever-faithful scissors. Then, Cheyenne quickly shifted her hand into a rock, crushing his imaginary scissors. Dang it, Van groaned, dropping his head backward. How do you always beat me? Cheyenne smirked, a triumphant glint in her eye. Because you always pick scissors. Of course I do. It is my system. Van defended himself, crossing his arms defensively. It is a good system. It just needs time. He sighed in defeat. So, you will tell her? Yeah, fine, Cheyenne said, before her courage instantly evaporated. She deflated, her shoulders dropping. No, I do not want to. You tell her, Van pleaded, his voice rising in pitch. Come on, you tell her, Cheyenne begged, stepping closer to him and giving him her best puppy dog eyes. Please, please, please. Van held his ground, though it was clearly difficult when his beautiful wife was looking at him like that. No, Cheyenne, why should I tell her? Because, Cheyenne explained, adopting a tone of deep, philosophical wisdom, girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. It is a universal rule. She paused, her gaze softening as she looked at her husband. A warm smile spread across her face. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Van's chest puffed out instantly, a goofy, charming grin taking over his features. "Oh, you," he chuckled, entirely distracted from the impending doom of the Barbara Jean situation. From the hallway, footsteps approached. "Reba, the matriarch of the house, you have any interest in getting a personal trainer?" Reba looked at Jordan, then back at Barbara Jean. "Only if he takes me out to dinner first." Barbara Jean laughed, entirely missing the implication. "Are you sure, Reba? Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had." Reba swallowed hard, the word relationship ringing loudly in her ears. Brock was right. Brock was absolutely right. "Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you." "Oh, you are a beginner, Reba?" Jordan chimed in, walking over to a large, imposing woman who looked like she could bench press a small vehicle. "You will start with Dot." "Dot? Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching." Dot cracked her knuckles, offering Reba a smile that looked more like a threat. "Hey, get down there." Reba fled the gym faster than she had ever run in her life. When she burst through her own front door, out of breath and utterly frazzled, Brock was waiting for her in the living room. He pounced instantly, his eyes wide with desperate anticipation. "So, did you see him?" Brock demanded, grabbing Reba by the shoulders. "What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him?" Reba pushed him away, panting heavily as she leaned against the front door to catch her breath. "He is big, but he is not as big as Dot." Brock frowned, confused by the cryptic answer. "So, what do you think? Is there something going on there?" Reba looked at her ex-husband, her heart aching slightly for the pathetic look on his face. She wanted to tell him it was all in his head, that Barbara Jean loved him and only him, but she could not erase the image of the stretching session from her mind. "Look, Brock," Reba started gently, keeping her voice low. "I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But—" "That is it," Brock interrupted, his face turning a dangerous shade of purple. He threw his hands into the air, a picture of ultimate betrayal. "Reba, come on," Brock yelled, pacing wildly. "Okay, I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby." Reba sighed heavily, walking past him into the kitchen to pour herself a large glass of ice water. "Man, I knew there was something going on." Before Brock could spiral into a complete meltdown, the front door opened again. Barbara Jean breezed into the house, her skin glowing with post-workout radiance. She was humming cheerfully, completely unaware of the tense, heavy atmosphere hanging in the living room. "Hey, everybody. I am here, and I am saying, well," she stopped, noticing Brock's dark expression. She offered a sweet, innocent smile.
"Oh, y une."
Brock stood rigid, his hands balled into tight fists at his sides. He took a deep breath, trying to steady his shaking voice. "Do not you honey me." Barbara Jean blinked, her smile faltering. She looked from Brock to Reba and back again. "What are you talking about?" "Oh, man," Brock groaned, dragging a hand down his face. The pain in his voice was raw and genuine. "Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan?" The silence in the room became absolute. The air grew thick, suffocating. Barbara Jean's jaw dropped. The cheerful demeanor vanished instantly, replaced by a look of sheer, profound shock. "What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent." She turned to Reba, her eyes pleading for support. "Reba, tell him what you saw." Reba took a slow step backward, raising her hands in a gesture of surrender. "I do not want to get involved." "She said you are having an affair?" Brock stated flatly, crossing his arms over his chest like a barricade. "Any more than I already am," Reba mumbled under her breath, turning away to stare out the kitchen window. Barbara Jean stepped closer to Brock, her voice trembling with indignation. "Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The words hung in the air for a long, agonizing moment. Brock stared at her, his brain struggling to process the sudden influx of new information. The raging fire of jealousy in his chest was extinguished so quickly it left him feeling dizzy and confused. What? Barbara Jean placed her hands on her hips, her posture defensive and angry. Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock choked on his own saliva. He coughed violently, his eyes bulging. Excuse me. He grabbed your breasts. He is gay, Barbara Jean repeated, enunciating each word carefully as if speaking to a stubborn child. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. She turned on her heel, her head held high. Carry on with your lives. No, Reba. Barbara Jean stopped abruptly and spun back around, aiming her frustration squarely at her friend. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. Brock looked confused. The phallus. The girls, Barbara Jean clarified quickly. Reba scoffed, crossing her arms defensively. Oh, the puppies. I am not threatened by you. Barbara Jean stepped closer, her eyes flashing with a rare, fiery intensity. Really? Yeah, Reba insisted, her voice rising in volume. Then why did you go down to the gym? Barbara Jean challenged, poking Reba in the shoulder. What, were you spying on me? Reba hesitated. She looked at Brock, hoping for a lifeline, but he was staring at his shoes, thoroughly embarrassed by the entire situation. Reba sighed, her shoulders slumping in defeat.
No.
Okay, yes. I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Barbara Jean looked genuinely hurt. The anger faded, replaced by a deep sadness. Why would you think that? Reba looked down at the floor, unable to meet her friend's eyes. The truth was uncomfortable and ugly, but it had to be spoken. Because you have changed. I have not, Barbara Jean protested softly. Reba looked up, her gaze steady and sad. Yes, you have. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Brock slowly raised his hand, pointing a tentative finger in the air. Hello? I have always been that way. Reba ignored him. Brock coughed awkwardly. She kind of got a point there. Yeah. Well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Reba insisted, her voice softening slightly. Barbara Jean looked around the room, taking in the expressions on Reba and Brock's faces. A slow dawn of realization washed over her features. Yeah, the way you guys look at me. I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. The silence returned, but this time it was not angry. It was reflective. Reba realized how petty she had been acting. Her own insecurities about aging and changing bodies had colored her perception of her friend's genuine happiness and pride in her accomplishments. I know she might be right, Reba admitted softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Could be us. Brock stepped forward, reaching out to gently take Barbara Jean's hand. His eyes were full of sincere regret. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba cut him off, knowing she needed to own her part in the disaster. Look, Barbara Jean. The truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. Barbara Jean's eyes widened in surprise. You know, anything, so I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry.
Sorry.
Barbara Jean repeated, her voice lifting with sudden, unexpected joy. A massive, radiant smile broke across her face. Yeah, this is great. Reba stared at her, thoroughly confused. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba quickly shook her head, wanting to clarify. I do not want to be you. I know, Barbara Jean squealed, clapping her hands together in sheer delight. It is even better. You want to look like me. She turned and practically skipped toward the front door, her confidence entirely restored and perhaps even amplified. Brock watched her go, a fond smile touching his lips. "Hey, where are you going?" "Just going to go grab something to eat," Barbara Jean called out over her shoulder, waving brightly. "I will see you next year." The front door clicked shut behind her, leaving Reba and Brock standing in the quiet living room. Reba let out away the suggestion as if it were a buzzing fly. "Oh, now there is a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba makes me to spy on those. Stupid." He trailed off, frustrated by his own inability to articulate his insecurities. Reba watched him stomp out of the room. She picked up her half-finished power smoothie, glaring at the green sludge. "Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you," she muttered to herself. Out in the living room, Van was sitting on the couch, staring blankly at the television. He had a look of profound philosophical contemplation on his young face. When he heard Reba approaching, he turned his head slowly. "Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk?" Van asked. He smiled wistfully. "Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms. Like there is a big sale for false teeth." Reba stopped dead in her tracks, her jaw clenching. "No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko." Van nodded, patting the empty spot on the couch beside him. "What do you mean?" Reba sat down, exhaling deeply. "Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. He probably does."
Van Esbrouw furrowed in confusion.
"What are you talking about?" "Guys are pigs," Reba stated matter-of-factly, staring straight ahead at the blank television screen. "They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs." Van leaned back, crossing his arms with an air of immense maturity. "My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. I used to." Reba turned her head slowly, looking at Van with utter disbelief. "You used to?" Van instantly realized he had misstepped. He held up his hands defensively, his voice rising an octave. "No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all." Cheyenne walked into the room just in time to catch the end of his defensive babble. She stood with her hands on her hips, her eyes narrowed. "Well, I do not like it. Where have you been?" "I went to get something to eat," Van replied weakly, pointing toward the kitchen. Cheyenne huffed and walked away. Reba turned back to Van, seeking an ally. "So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer?" Van pondered the question seriously, tapping his chin. "Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem. And it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking." Reba arched an eyebrow. "Why is this obvious?" "2 reasons," Van explained, holding up 2 fingers. "Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him." Reba's eyes widened in horror as the realization hit her like a ton of bricks. Barbara Jean had practically begged Reba to meet the man. Meet him? Oh! She practically leaped off the couch, her heart suddenly pounding with a mixture of dread and morbid curiosity. "Where are you going?" Van called out as she sprinted toward the door. "Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos," Reba shouted back over her shoulder. Van grinned, giving her a thumbs up. "All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging." The atmosphere inside the local fitness center was a stark contrast to Reba's quiet, slightly messy kitchen. It smelled faintly of lemon disinfectant and expensive sweat. Upbeat, thumping music pulsed through the air. Mirrors lined the walls from floor to ceiling, reflecting rows of gleaming metal machines and people who looked like they stepped out of fitness magazine covers. Reba stood awkwardly in the entryway, pulling her oversized sweatshirt tightly around her waist. She felt entirely out of place, like a librarian who had accidentally wandered into a nightclub. "Oh, hey, Reba. You came," a bubbly voice called out over the pounding bass line. Reba turned to see Barbara Jean waving enthusiastically from a nearby floor mat. She walked over tentatively, keeping a cautious distance from the heavy machinery. "Yeah," Reba said, looking around the room with wide eyes. "Man, there is a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower." A tall, incredibly muscular man stepped out from behind a weight rack. He had sun-kissed skin, perfectly styled hair, and a smile that could blind a pilot. He moved with the effortless grace of a predatory cat. "Hey," he said, his voice smooth and deep. "Jordan." Reba stared at him, suddenly understanding why Brock was losing his mind. "Hey." Jordan clapped his hands together, focusing his attention on his client. "Ready to start, Barbara Jean?" Yeah, Barbara Jean beamed, practically bouncing on the padded floor mat. "Hey, you look great in that outfit," Jordan complimented casually, tossing her a towel. Barbara Jean blushed, a deep shade of pink rushing to her cheeks. "Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy." She gestured toward Reba with a playful wink. "Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas." Reba's mouth dropped open in shock as Barbara Jean cheerfully patted her own chest. Oh, okay, Jordan." Reba quickly stepped forward, wanting to stop the conversation before it went any further into uncomfortable territory. "Jordan, this is my friend, Reba." Jordan extended a large, incredibly firm hand. "Hey, I am Jordan." Reba shook it, wincing slightly at his grip. "I am Reba." "So, you going to join us, Reba?" Jordan asked, his smile never wavering. Reba took a step back, shaking her head vigorously. "Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while." Jordan crossed his massive arms, adopting the tone of a wise guru. "Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching. You need to sweat a little." "Yeah, but you guys got to understand," Reba stammered, pulling her sweatshirt tighter. "It has been a while since I have been in a gym like this, and I do not think—" "Hello, there," Jordan interrupted, suddenly dropping to his knees beside Barbara Jean, who was now lying flat on the mat. "Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber." What happened next made Reba question every decision she had made that morning. Jordan took hold of Barbara Jean's leg and, with fluid ease, stretched it upwards, bending it in ways the human body was surely not designed to bend. The proximity, the physical contact, it looked entirely too intimate for a brightly lit public space. "Remember when you could not put your leg over my head?" Jordan asked cheerfully. "Remember when I did not want to?" Barbara Jean laughed, clearly enjoying the stretch. Reba stumbled backward, her eyes bugging out of her head. She looked around to see if anyone else was witnessing this display. Is that legal? I mean, necessary?" Jordan looked up, completely unbothered by Reba's panic. "It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them. Yeah. Otherwise, you could really hurt something." He patted the mat. "Turn over." Barbara Jean flipped onto her stomach. "Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite." Jordan straddled her lower back, placing his hands firmly on her shoulders and pulling upwards, arching her back sharply. Reba gasped, covering her mouth with her hand. "All right," Jordan said, his tone entirely professional. "Now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day." "Oh, I would do it all day if I could." Barbara Jean sighed happily, her eyes closed in pure bliss. Reba felt a bead of sweat roll down her neck. The sheer awkwardness of the situation was suffocating her. Is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Jordan finally released Barbara Jean and stood up, clapping his hands. Oh wow, time for some weightlifting. Reba exhaled loudly, feeling a wave of relief crash over her. Oh good, that is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. She gestured toward a rack of small, brightly colored dumbbells. Knock this out. Yeah, okay. All right. She began to back away toward the exit, hoping to escape before anything else happened. You know, I think I have seen enough. Barbara Jean sat up, looking disappointed. So, what do you think? Scientist observing a fascinating new species. Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba closed her eyes tightly, rubbing her temples. Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare. Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin, Barbara Jean repeated, doing a small twirl, completely oblivious to the shock radiating through the room. Reba opened her eyes, letting out a heavy, resigned sigh. And the nightmare continues. Reba retreated to the kitchen counter, determined to reclaim control over her morning. She began pulling various fruits, vegetables, and a tub of mysterious green powder from the refrigerator. She hummed a familiar, empowering tune to steady her nerves. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor. She sang softly, dumping a handful of spinach into the blender. Van walked over, eyeing the green concoction with deep suspicion. Mom, make us some pancakes. Reba slammed the lid onto the blender. No, I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk. Cheyenne leaned against the counter, a teasing smile playing on her lips. Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. Van frowned, adopting a tone of misplaced chivalry. Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip. Reba turned to them, her hand resting firmly on the blender's power switch. She offered them a painfully sweet, utterly terrifying smile. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. The blender roared to life, drowning out any further complaints. When the noise finally subsided, Barbara Jean bounded back into the room, seemingly having finished a mini-workout in the living room. Hey, everybody. I am here and I am. Oh, shut up and have a donut, Reba snapped jokingly, pouring a thick, unappetizing grayish-green liquid into a tall glass. Barbara Jean gasped playfully, placing a hand over her heart. Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbs. Reba took a slow, deliberate sip of her smoothie, trying desperately not to grimace at the chalky texture. Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of... She stopped mid-sentence, noticing the way Van and Brock were staring at Barbara Jean. It was a look of pure, unadulterated awe. Reba snapped her fingers. Will you stop staring at her? Van blinked, snapping out of his trance. What? We have been staring at her for like the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty. Barbara Jean preened, smoothing down her bright pink workout top. I am pretty. Well, of course you are, Reba said, trying to inject some normalcy into the bizarre morning. You have always been pretty, but she is new pretty. Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife, Reba added, her sarcasm dripping onto the kitchen floor. Barbara Jean turned to Van, her eyes wide with innocent curiosity. Van, you really think that I am new pretty? Oh, yeah, Van nodded earnestly, completely missing the tension in the room. You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barbara Jean's face lit up as if she had just been handed a winning lottery ticket. Thank you. You are welcome, Van replied proudly. He turned and headed toward the hallway. I am going to go make some calls. Brock cleared his throat, shifting uncomfortably on his feet. He looked at Barbara Jean, his eyes darting around nervously. So, Barbara Jean. Yeah. Is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, you know?
Bounce ka bounce.
Brock made an awkward, vague gesture with his hands, his face flushing a deep shade of crimson. Cheyenne shot him a look of profound disgust. Van poked his head back into the kitchen, sensing his wife's distress. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. He paused, searching for the right compliment. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady.
Januari Jan Brady.
Cheyenne groaned, burying her face in her hands. I am Marcia.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Barbara Jean, blissfully ignoring the familial chaos, clapped her hands together, turning her full attention back to Reba. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gym and meet Jordan, my trainer. Reba took another sip of her smoothie, her expression utterly stoic. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. Barbara Jean leaned in, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Reba choked slightly on her drink, coughing as she set the glass down. Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean giggled, a light, airy sound that set Reba's teeth on edge. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan. No, Reba answered flatly, leaving no room for negotiation. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, placing a warm hand on Reba's arm. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. She froze, her eyes widening in comedic horror as she realized what she had just said. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops, that came out wrong. Reba raised an eyebrow, a silent judgment hanging heavily in the air. Oh, well, thanks anyway. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. She picked up the glass and took a large, deliberate gulp, forcing a bright smile. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Later that afternoon, the house had finally quieted down. Reba was wiping the kitchen counters, enjoying the rare moment of solitude, when Brock trudged into the room. He looked like a man carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. He slumped into a chair at the dining table, resting his chin in his hands. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, Brock muttered softly to the empty chair across from him, practicing again. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. He paused, playing the role of his wife in his head. Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gym. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Skip the gym and eat French food? No confondu, bras. Brock dropped his head onto the table with a soft thud. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gym and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Reba stopped wiping the counter and turned to look at her ex-husband. Despite their history, seeing him so defeated tugged at a small, deeply buried string of sympathy. Exactly, Reba said softly. Frankly, I like the new but the new attitude not so much. Brock lifted his head, his eyes narrowing in sudden defensive anger. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old but. Reba glared at him, regretting her moment of sympathy. Brock sighed, rubbing his face with his hands. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Brock, you are overreacting, Reba said reasonably, leaning against the counter. Oh, really? Brock stood up, pacing the floor again. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But... He stopped pacing and turned to Reba, his eyes pleading. That is it. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gym and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me. Reba let out a sharp, incredulous bark of laughter. No way. You know, Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful. Brock scowled, kicking gently at the leg of the table. Yeah, right, up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Reba walked over and placed a comforting, albeit firm, hand on his shoulder. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock scoffed, waving. Just going to go grab something to eat, Barbara Jean called back. I will see you next year. Reba watched her go, a small, genuine smile playing on her lips. Sometimes people changed on the outside, but the loud, vibrant, entirely overwhelming core of who they were remained exactly the same. And sometimes that was exactly how it was supposed to be. Upstairs, a different kind of reconciliation was taking place. Van was sitting on the edge of the bed, holding a remote control and staring blankly at the television. Cheyenne walked in carrying a large shopping bag. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? Van asked, trying to sound casual. No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. He held out his hand. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? Cheyenne laughed softly. Get out. Van smiled, patting the space next to him. Hey, honey. Hey, baby. I need to talk to you, Cheyenne said, sitting down. Oh, honey, I just got the television. Cheyenne took a deep breath, reaching into the bag. Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest.
Van Esbrauw furrowed in genuine confusion.
No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty, Cheyenne admitted with a small smile. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig. She pulled a bright, platinum blonde wig out of the bag and held it up. Van looked at the wig, then up at his wife's beautiful, familiar face. He reached out and gently pushed her hand down. Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me. His voice was unusually serious, devoid of its usual goofy cadence. I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer body. I see my wife, and I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. Cheyenne's eyes filled with tears. Really? Yeah, Van said softly, tracing the line of her jaw with his thumb. You are beautiful to me because of who you are. Cheyenne sniffled, a watery smile breaking through. Ah, I feel kind of stupid. Van grinned, his trademark goofy charm returning. That is also who you are, and I love it. He stood up and offered her his hand. Come on, you. Where are we going? Cheyenne asked, taking his hand. Oh, we are going upstairs. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone. Van pulled her close, kissing the top of her head. Sometimes I want to feel new pretty. The morning sun filtered through the kitchen blinds, casting long, dramatic shadows across what could only be described as a culinary wasteland. Cheyenne leaned against the smooth marble countertop, her arms crossed tightly over her chest, as she surveyed the profound emptiness of the pantry. She shook her head, a mixture of awe and genuine bewilderment in her eyes. That woman is out of control, Cheyenne whispered, her voice carrying the gravity of a seasoned news reporter delivering breaking news. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Van, standing beside her, opened a small cabinet and pulled out 2 small glass containers. He held them up to the light, his expression one of pure disbelief. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. He shook them, listening to the hollow clinking sound. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? Cheyenne took a step back, her eyes widening in immediate defense. You tell her. No, you tell her, Van countered, setting the empty shakers down on the counter with a soft thud. He squared his shoulders, presenting a challenge. Rock, paper, scissors. Cheyenne sighed, rolling her eyes but raising her fist nonetheless. Ben, you know you are going to lose. Not this time, Van said, his voice brimming with unearned confidence. He pumped his fist in the air. 1, 2, 3. They threw their hands forward. Cheyenne's hand remained flat, representing paper. Van's hand formed a triumphant V shape. The victory, however, was short-lived as he realized his mistake. Dang it, Van groaned, dropping his hand in defeat. How do you always beat me? Cheyenne smiled, a knowing, affectionate smirk playing on her lips. Because you always pick scissors. Of course I do, Van defended himself, crossing his arms. It is my system. He paused, looking at his wife with a pleading expression. So you will tell her? Yeah, fine, Cheyenne agreed, though her tone lacked enthusiasm. A second later, her resolve crumbled completely. No, I do not want to. You tell her, Van urged, stepping closer. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. Cheyenne shook her head adamantly. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. She paused, her gaze softening as she looked at her husband. A small, genuine smile graced her face. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Van's chest puffed out just a fraction, his previous anxiety melting away into a goofy grin. Oh, you. The quiet moment of marital affection was interrupted by the sound of the front door swinging open. Reba marched into the house, bringing with her the familiar, comforting scent of baked dough and melted cheese. She carried a large, flat cardboard box, setting it down on the dining table with a triumphant sigh. Look, sweetie, Reba said, catching the tail end of their conversation. Why do I not tell her? Cheyenne exhaled a massive sigh of relief. Thank you. Reba turned her attention to the box on the table, her face lighting up. Hey, 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 guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Cheyenne walked over, looking at the pizza box with a mixture of appreciation and mild concern. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Oh, I know, Reba replied, waving a hand dismissively as she opened a cabinet to fetch plates. But I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Van's hand shot into the air with the speed of lightning. Oh, dibs. Reba paused, looking at the pizza, then at Van, and finally down at herself. A sudden wave of contemplation washed over her features. She closed the cabinet door slowly. You know what, Mom? Reba said, speaking almost to herself as she adopted Cheyenne's perspective. I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Van, who already had a slice of pepperoni pizza halfway to his mouth, froze. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Before the debate could continue, the kitchen door swung open, and Brock walked in. His face etched with deep, frantic lines of worry. He was practically vibrating with nervous energy. He pointed a stern finger at empty air, practicing a speech he had clearly been rehearsing in his head for miles. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Brock muttered to himself, completely ignoring his family. He paced back and forth across the linoleum floor. Drop it, Mrs. H. I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? Reba and Cheyenne exchanged a baffled look. What is different? Brock continued, throwing his hands up in despair. Suddenly, a voice echoed from the hallway. A bright, musical, and undeniably loud trill that commanded the attention of the entire room. You who? I am here, and I am thin. Barbara Jean danced into the kitchen. The word danced was the only appropriate verb. She possessed an energy that seemed to bounce off the walls. But it was not just her energy that left the room in stunned silence. It was her physical appearance. The woman who stood before them was a fraction of her former self. She was draped in a colorful, form-fitting athletic outfit that highlighted a remarkably slender waist and toned arms. She struck a pose, a radiant smile plastered across her face. Reba stared, her eyes blinking rapidly as she tried to process the visual information. Yeah, Reba muttered under her breath, crossing her arms defensively, thin as a stick and dumb as one. Brock looked like he had seen a ghost. Yikes, what is eating Cooper grape? Van, still holding his pizza slice, tilted his head, analyzing Barbara Jean with the intense focus of a smile jogged over to them. Hey! Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Jordan asked, his voice smooth and encouraging. Yeah, she replied. Jordan looked her up and down. Hey, you look great in that outfit. Barbara Jean giggled, patting her waist. Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. She turned to Reba, whispering loudly. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellows. Reba cleared her throat awkwardly. Okay, Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Hey, I am Jordan. I am Reba. So, you going to join us, Reba? Jordan asked, gesturing to the mat. Reba took a step back, clutching her purse to her chest like a shield. Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan pointed out with a dazzling motivational smile. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys got to understand, Reba stammered, looking around the intense environment. It has been a while since I have been in a gymnasium like this, and I do not think. Hello, there, Jordan said, turning his attention back to his client. Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Barbara Jean lay on her back on the mat. Jordan knelt beside her and gently lifted one of her legs, stretching it upward. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Remember when I did not want to? Barbara Jean laughed. Reba's jaw dropped as Jordan stretched Barbara Jean's leg to an angle that seemed entirely unnatural. Is that legal? I mean, necessary? It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them, Jordan explained calmly, continuing the intense stretching routine. Yeah, otherwise you could really hurt something. Turn over. Barbara Jean flipped onto her stomach. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Jordan knelt over her, grasping her arms and pulling them back in a deep stretch. All right, now this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I would do it all day if I could, Barbara Jean sighed happily. Reba felt a flush creeping up her neck. The sheer physicality of the stretching, combined with the incredibly close proximity of the two, was making her extremely uncomfortable. Is this one of these gymnasiums that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Jordan released Barbara Jean and stood up. Okay, oh wow, time for some weightlifting. Reba exhaled loudly. Oh good, that is enough of that stretching. Jordan guided Barbara Jean over to a machine. Hello. Okay, knock this out. Yeah, okay, all right. Reba watched them for another minute before she had seen entirely enough. I think I have seen enough. So what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? She mumbled to herself. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. She turned to Barbara Jean. Are you sure, Reba? Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba forced a tight smile. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba, Barbara Jean said brightly. You will start with Dot. A woman who looked like she chewed gravel for breakfast and benched small automobiles marched over. Yeah, Dot barked. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching, Barbara Jean suggested. Dot looked Reba up and down. Hey, get down there. Reba did not wait to argue. She turned and fled the gymnasium as fast as her legs could carry her. When Reba returned to the house, Brock was pacing the living room floor, practically wearing a trench into the carpet. The moment the front door clicked shut, he pounced. So, did you see him? What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba leaned against the door, exhausted from the mental gymnastics of the afternoon. He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba sighed heavily, walking into the living room and dropping onto the sofa. Look, Brock, I was hoping that I could go down to the gymnasium and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But that is it, Brock interrupted, his face turning a shade of angry crimson. He stormed toward the front door just as Barbara Jean walked in, fresh from her workout and practically glowing. Reba, come on, Brock yelled, pointing an accusing finger. Reba held up her hands. Okay, I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock's eyes widened in sheer panic. Man, I knew there was something going on. Barbara Jean smiled brightly at her husband. Hey, everybody, I am here and I am saying, well, unei. Do not you hi honey me, Brock snapped. Barbara Jean blinked, taken aback. What are you talking about? Oh man, did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean looked genuinely confused. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock turned to Reba. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba sank lower into the sofa cushions. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock accused. Any more than I already am, Reba mumbled under her breath. Barbara Jean planted her hands on her hips, her posture defensive. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The room fell dead silent. Brock blinked, his anger momentarily derailed by confusion. What, Reba? Do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock whipped his head toward Reba. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts. He is gay, Barbara Jean reiterated firmly. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. Brock exhaled a massive breath, the tension leaving his shoulders. But Barbara Jean was not finished. Her face fell, a look of deep hurt replacing her usual buoyant expression. No, Reba. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. The slim waist, the toned legs, the fellows. The fellows? Reba asked, raising an eyebrow. The girls, Barbara Jean corrected. Oh, the puppies. Reba sat up straight, her defensive instincts kicking in. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gymnasium? What were you spying on me? Reba hesitated. No. She sighed, defeated by her own honesty. Okay, yes. I went down to the gymnasium because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Because you have changed. I have not. Yes, you have, Reba insisted gently but firmly. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Barbara Jean stared at her for a long moment. Hello? I have always been that way. From the kitchen doorway, Van nodded slowly. She kind of got a point there. Reba paused, considering this. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Yeah, Barbara Jean agreed softly. The way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. Silence settled over the room. Reba looked down at her hands, a pang of guilt striking her heart. I know she might be right. Could be us. Brock stepped forward, his voice gentle. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba stood up, crossing the room to stand in front of Barbara Jean. Look, Barbara Jean, the truth is I think I went down to the gymnasium almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny silhouette. So, I am sorry. Barbara Jean looked at Reba, her eyes shining with sudden, pure joy. Sorry. Yeah. This is great. Barbara Jean squealed, clapping her hands together. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba's expression deadpanned. I do not want to be you. I know. Barbara Jean laughed, entirely unfazed. It is even better. You want to look like me. She turned and practically skipped toward the kitchen. Brock looked at Reba, then toward the kitchen. Hey, where are you going? He called out. Cheyenne, put that down, he said softly, his voice carrying a depth of maturity that surprised even himself. Listen to me. I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer body. I see my wife. Cheyenne's eyes widened, a lump forming in her throat. And I am attracted to her? Van continued, his gaze locked lovingly with hers. Whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. Really? Cheyenne whispered, a single tear of joy escaping her eye. Yeah, Van smiled tenderly. You are beautiful to me because of who you are. Cheyenne leaned her head on his shoulder, a profound sense of peace washing over her. The insecurities of the day vanished, replaced by the warm glow of genuine affection. Ah, I feel kind of stupid. Van chuckled, kissing the top of her head. That is also who you are, and I love it. He stood up, pulling her to her feet. Come on, you. Where are we going? Cheyenne asked, wiping her eyes and smiling brightly. Oh, we are going upstairs, Van said with a playful glint in his eye. Cheyenne stopped, raising an eyebrow. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone. Van grinned, pulling her close. Sometimes I want to feel new pretty. They laughed together, the sound echoing through the quiet house. A perfect ending to a chaotic, ridiculous, and ultimately beautiful day. In the end, it was not the physical transformations or the power smoothies that mattered. It was the enduring, sometimes messy, but always fiercely loyal love of family that kept them grounded. And that was something no amount of stretching could ever replace. The morning sun streamed through the wide windows of the suburban kitchen, casting long golden rectangles across the oak floorboards. It was a kitchen that had seen its fair share of chaos, laughter, and an absurd amount of takeout food. Today, however, the atmosphere was thick with a very specific quiet tension. 3 members of the household stood huddled near the expansive kitchen island, staring down at the wreckage of what used to be a fully stocked pantry. That woman is out of control, someone whispered, gesturing vaguely toward the hallway. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. The evidence was undeniable. The countertops were a graveyard of empty snack boxes and bare fruit bowls. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house. Another voice chimed in, pointing a trembling finger at the center of the table. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her. No, you tell her. Rock, paper, scissors. Van, the tall, perpetually athletic, and sometimes beautifully oblivious son-in-law, rolled his eyes playfully. Ben, you know you are going to lose. Young Ben squared his shoulders, determination shining in his eyes. Not this time. 1, 2, 3. They threw their hands out. Van's flat palm covered Ben's 2 extended fingers. Dang it, Ben groaned, dropping his arms in defeat. How do you always beat me? Because you always pick scissors, Van said, flashing a triumphant grin. Of course I do, it is my system. So, you will tell her? Yeah, fine, Ben muttered, before his courage immediately evaporated. No, I do not want to. You tell her. Come on, you tell her, Van pleaded, his bravado entirely gone. Please, please, please. No, Van, why should I tell her? Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. Van reasoned, his logic as delightfully flawed as always. He paused, looking at his young wife, Cheyenne, who had just walked into the kitchen. His expression softened into absolute adoration. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Cheyenne smiled, a blush creeping up her cheeks. Oh, you. Reba, the matriarch of the house, walked in, wiping her hands on a dish towel. She had overheard the entire ridiculous exchange. With a deep sigh that carried the weight of years of managing this chaotic family, she stepped forward. Look, sweeties, why do I not tell her? A collective breath of relief swept through the room. Thank you, they chorused. Just then, the front door rattled, and in walked Reba's mother, carrying a massive, grease-stained cardboard box with a look of utter triumph on her face. Hey, 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 guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Reba rubbed her temples. Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Oh, I know, her mother replied cheerfully, setting the heavy box down on the counter. But I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Almost instantly, a hand shot out from the doorway. Dibs? Reba looked at the pizza, then at her family, and shook her head. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Her mother looked at her as if she had just suggested they all move to Mars. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Before Reba could argue the nutritional value of free pepperoni, a commotion started in the living room. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Reba rushed into the living room to find her ex-husband, Brock, wrestling a piece of pastry away from someone out of sight. Drop it, Brock pleaded, looking genuinely distressed. Mrs. H., I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? Suddenly, a memory, or perhaps a hallucination brought on by stress, flashed before Brock's eyes. In his mind, he saw a vision of Barbara Jean, his current wife. You who? I am here, and I am thin. The vision of Barbara Jean cheered. In the dreamscape, Brock muttered, Yeah, thin is a stick, and dumb is one. He looked at the imaginary Barbara Jean standing next to the person she used to be. Yikes, what is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Brock blinked hard, shaking his head to clear the strange daydream. He exhaled a massive sigh of relief. Oh, thank goodness it was just a nightmare. But the universe, as it often did in this household, had an impeccable sense of comedic timing. Just as Brock whispered his thanks to the heavens, the front door swung open with the force of a hurricane. You who? I am here, and I am thin. Brock's face went completely pale. And the nightmare continues, he whispered to himself. Barbara Jean stepped into the foyer. She was practically vibrating with energy. She had indeed lost a significant amount of weight, and she was wearing a bright, form-fitting athletic outfit that announced her arrival louder than her voice did. She spun around, striking a dramatic pose, and burst into a triumphant, slightly off-key rendition of a popular survival anthem. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I am a survivor. The room fell completely silent. The family stared at her, utterly stunned by the sheer spectacle of the performance. Young Jake tugged on Reba's sleeve. "Mom, make us some pancakes." Reba, recovering quickly, shook her head with firm resolve. "No, I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk." Van let out a short, surprised laugh. "Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane." Cheyenne smacked Van's arm. "Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics." "She could shatter her hip," Van countered innocently. Reba narrowed her eyes, fixing Van with a glare that could melt steel. "And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless." Barbara Jean, completely oblivious to the side conversation, marched further into the living room, beaming. "Hey, everybody. I am here and I am." "Oh, shut up and have a donut," Reba said dryly, handing her a blended, green concoction instead. Barbara Jean waved the drink away with a perfectly manicured hand. "Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates." Reba took a slow sip of her green drink. "Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but this one is my favorite." Jordan gently placed his hands on her upper back. "All right, now this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day." "Oh, I would do it all day if I could," Barbara Jean sighed contently. Reba began fanning herself with her hand. Is this one of these gymnasiums that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Oh wow. Time for some weightlifting. Oh good. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I have seen enough." She turned to leave, but Barbara Jean sat up, looking radiant. "So what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Only if he takes me out to dinner first." "Are you sure, Reba?" Barbara Jean pressed. "Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had." Reba looked at Jordan, then at Barbara Jean, her mind racing with what she was going to have to tell Brock. "Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you." "Oh, you are a beginner, Reba," Jordan chimed in. "You will start with Dot." "Dot." A woman who appeared to be constructed entirely of granite and steel stepped out from the shadows. She was imposing, silent, and radiated pure authority. "Yeah," Dot grunted. "This is Reba," Jordan introduced them. "She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching." Dot looked at Reba and pointed a massive finger at an empty mat. "Hey, get down there." An hour later, Reba returned to her house, feeling as though every muscle in her body had been individually removed, twisted, and placed back in the wrong order. Brock was waiting for her in the living room, pacing a trench into the carpet. "So, did you see him?" Brock demanded the moment she walked through the door. "What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him?" Reba collapsed onto the sofa, groaning softly. "He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there?" Reba looked up at him, a heavy sigh escaping her lips. "Look, Brock, I was hoping that I could go down to the gymnasium and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But..." "That is it?" Brock snapped, his worst fears seemingly confirmed. "Reba, come on." Brock pleaded for details. "Okay," Reba continued, trying to find the right words. "I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby." Brock's face turned a dangerous shade of crimson. "Man, I knew there was something going on." Just then, the front door opened, and Barbara Jean breezed in, carrying a perfectly portioned salad in a clear plastic container. "Hey, everybody. I am here and I am saying, well, unei." Brock stood tall, crossing his arms over his chest. "Do not you hi honey me." Barbara Jean stopped, her smile fading. "What are you talking about?" Oh man, Brock scoffed. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean looked genuinely confused. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba sank deeper into the sofa cushions. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock stated plainly. Barbara Jean gasped, a hand flying to her chest. Any more than I already am. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The room plunged into absolute silence. What? Brock blinked, his anger instantly evaporating, replaced by pure confusion. Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Barbara Jean asked, her voice tinged with righteous indignation. Brock's head snapped toward Reba. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts? He is gay. He was not touching them, Barbara Jean clarified, rolling her eyes. He was arranging them. She waved a dismissive hand. Carry on with your lives. Brock exhaled a long, shaky breath, the tension leaving his shoulders.
No, Reba.
Everything is not fine. Barbara Jean turned her full attention to Reba, her eyes narrowing. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. Reba sat up straight, her pride stinging. The phallus? The girls. Oh, the puppies. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gymnasium? What were you spying on me? Reba hesitated. Lying was not in her nature, especially not when backed into a corner.
No.
Okay, yes. I went down to the gymnasium because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Because you have changed? Reba admitted, her voice softening slightly. I have not, Barbara Jean protested defensively. Yes, you have, Reba insisted gently. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Barbara Jean put a hand on her hip, cocking her head to the side. Hello? I have always been that way. From the doorway, Ben quietly observed. She kind of got a point there. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean, Reba said softly. Barbara Jean's expression softened as well, a hint of vulnerability breaking through her confident facade. Yeah, the way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. Reba looked at the floor, suddenly feeling a wave of guilt wash over her. She realized that her own insecurities had colored her perception of the situation. I know she might be right. Could be us. Brock stepped forward, reaching out for his wife's hand. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Look, Barbara Jean, Reba interrupted, standing up to face her friend properly. The truth is I think I went down to the gymnasium almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Barbara Jean looked at Reba, her eyes widening in realization.
Sorry.
Yeah, Reba nodded. Suddenly, a massive, brilliant smile spread across Barbara Jean's face. This is great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba recoiled instantly. I do not want to be you. I know. Barbara Jean squealed with delight, clapping her hands together. It is even better. You want to look like me. Unable to handle the sheer force of Barbara Jean's joyous delusion, Reba turned and headed for the kitchen. Hey, where are you going? Barbara Jean called after her. Just going to go grab something to eat, Reba called back over her shoulder. I will see you next year. Meanwhile, upstairs in the television room, Van and Ben were sprawled out on the floor. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? Van asked, tossing a pillow at Ben. No, we are not, Ben replied, not taking his eyes off the screen. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Van sat up eagerly. Let us go. They raised their fists. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? Ben asked, a smirk playing on his lips. Van froze, his entire strategy crumbling. Get out, he shouted playfully, throwing another pillow. Downstairs, the house had finally quieted down. The shadows grew longer as evening approached. Cheyenne walked into the living room, searching for Van. She found him sitting on the sofa, staring thoughtfully out the window. Hey, honey, Cheyenne said softly, sitting beside him. Hey, baby, Van replied, wrapping an arm around her shoulder. I need to talk to you, Cheyenne said, her voice unusually serious. Oh, honey, I just got the television, Van groaned playfully. Well, Cheyenne began, her hands fidgeting in her lap. I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest. Van looked at her, completely shocked. No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty. But anyway, Cheyenne continued, pulling a large, bright blonde wig out from behind a pillow. I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig. She held the synthetic monstrosity up for him to see. Van looked at the wig, then back to his beautiful, natural wife. He reached out and gently took the wig from her hands, tossing it onto the floor. No, Reba said flatly, taking a hesitant sip of her swamp smoothie. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, linking her arm through Reba's. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend, she gasped, covering her mouth with her hand. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops, that came out wrong. Brock looked as though he might pass out. Oh, well, thanks anyway, but I am just going to be here with my smoothie, Reba said, trying to force a smile as the awful liquid slid down her throat. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Later that afternoon, Brock found Reba alone in the living room. He looked frantic, his hair slightly disheveled. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, he muttered to the empty air, practicing his lines before turning to Reba. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Reba raised an eyebrow. You talking to me or practicing for her? Brock slumped onto the sofa. I asked her. She said, Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gymnasium. I said, Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. And do you know what she said, Reba? No confondu bras? Reba guessed. Man, she blew me off again, Brock complained, running a hand over his face. All she wants to do is go down to the gymnasium and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Exactly. Frankly, I like the new but the new attitude not so much. Reba chuckled softly, unable to resist a jab. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old butt. Brock ignored the insult, his anxiety taking full control. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Brock, you are overreacting, Reba said, trying to be the voice of reason. Oh, really? Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? Reba scoffed, finding the idea utterly ridiculous. I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But that is it, Brock interrupted, standing up suddenly. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gymnasium and see if there is anything going on. Spy on him for me. No way, Reba declined instantly, shaking her head. Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right? Brock scoffed bitterly. Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock looked at her as if she had just suggested he speak to a wall. Oh, now there is a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. He paced back and forth. Your solutions are ridiculous, Reba. Makes me want to spy on those stupid. He trailed off, lost in his own paranoid fantasies. Reba watched him, a mix of pity and exasperation in her eyes. It was hard to believe that these human emotions, these petty jealousies, were supposed to be good for building character. The next morning, Van found Reba sitting by the window, staring out at the neighborhood. Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk? Van asked brightly, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there is a big sale for false teeth. Reba glared at him. No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. What do you mean? Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a 4-spin, Reba explained, using a phrase she was not entirely sure she understood. He probably does, Van agreed without hesitation. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs, Van stated with philosophical certainty. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. He nodded, pleased with his own analogy. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. I used to, Reba murmured softly, a fleeting moment of vulnerability crossing her face. Van immediately realized he had struck a nerve. No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Well, I do not like it. Cheyenne's voice pierced the air as she marched into the room, her arms crossed defensively. She looked at Van, then at Reba. Where have you been? I went to get something to eat, Van replied, instantly defensive. Cheyenne narrowed her eyes, though she let the matter drop for the moment. Reba turned to Ben, who had quietly entered the room to observe the chaos. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Reba asked. Ben considered the question thoughtfully. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem. And it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Why is this obvious? Reba asked, intrigued by his logic. 2 reasons. Ben held up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba's eyes widened. The memory of Barbara Jean begging her to meet Jordan flooded her mind. Meet him? Oh, she grabbed her purse, a sudden sense of mission overtaking her. Where are you going? Van asked. Go down to the gymnasium with the rest of the wackos, Reba declared, marching toward the door. All right, Van called after her cheerfully. Well, keep those arms swinging. The gymnasium was a symphony of clanking metal, rhythmic electronic music, and the heavy breathing of people pushing their physical limits. The air smelled of eucalyptus and determination. Reba stepped through the glass doors, feeling entirely out of place in her casual clothing amidst a sea of neon spandex and perfectly sculpted muscles. Oh, hey, Reba, you came. Barbara Jean's voice rang out from across the floor. Reba navigated her way through the maze of machines, keeping her eyes straight ahead. Yeah, man, there is a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower. A tall, incredibly handsome man with a smile that belonged on a magazine cover stepped out from behind a weight bench. Hey! Jordan, Barbara Jean cooed. Hey! Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Jordan asked, his voice smooth and professional. Yeah, she nodded eagerly. Hey, you look great in that outfit, Jordan complimented her. Barbara Jean beamed, preening slightly. Oh, well, you know, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. She gestured toward Reba. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. Reba's eyes widened in horror. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, Jordan. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Jordan extended a perfectly manicured hand. Hey, I am Jordan. I am Reba, she replied cautiously, shaking his hand. His grip was firm, his gaze intensely focused. So, you going to join us, Reba? Jordan asked, offering an encouraging smile. Reba took a step back, holding up her hands. Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan advised. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys got to understand, it has been a while since I have been in a gymnasium like this, and I do not think. Hello, there, Jordan interrupted, turning his attention back to Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Reba nearly choked on her own saliva. She watched in absolute bewilderment as Barbara Jean lay on a mat while Jordan guided her leg through a series of stretches. Remember when I did not want to? Barbara Jean joked, laughing freely. Reba stared, her moral compass spinning wildly. Is that legal? I mean, necessary? It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them, Jordan explained calmly, not breaking a sweat. Yeah, otherwise you could really hurt something. Turn over. Barbara Jean flipped onto her stomach. Reba, you need to watch this one, Barbara Jean called out happily. I do, Ben grumbled, crossing his arms. It is my system. Cheyenne clapped her hands together, looking at Van with an expectant smile. So, you will tell her?
Van S' victorious grin vanished instantly.
The reality of the situation crashed down upon him. Yeah, fine, he mumbled, before panic set in. No, I do not want to. You tell her, Ben pleaded, turning to Cheyenne. Come on, you tell her, Van echoed, joining Ben in a chorus of desperation. Please, please, please. Cheyenne rolled her eyes, though a small smile tugged at the corners of her mouth. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks, Van explained, his logic twisted but delivered with absolute sincerity. He then paused, looking at his wife with a sudden spark of genuine admiration. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Cheyenne blushed, batting her eyelashes. Oh, you. The front door swung open, and the unmistakable sound of Reba's footsteps echoed down the hallway. Reba, the matriarch of the family, walked into the kitchen carrying a large, square cardboard box that radiated the heavenly scent of melted cheese and baked dough. Look, sweetie, why do I not tell her? Reba said, catching the tail end of the conversation as she set the box down on the counter. Thank you. Cheyenne breathed a sigh of immense relief. Hey, 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 Reba announced, her voice carrying a cheerful, triumphant melody. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Cheyenne looked at the pizza, then back to her mother, a soft expression of concern washing over her features. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us right now. Reba waved a dismissive hand, opening the lid to reveal the glorious, bubbling masterpiece. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Before the words had fully left her mouth, Van lunged forward. Oh, dibs. Reba pulled the box back slightly, a sudden wave of contemplation washing over her. She looked at Van, then at Cheyenne, and finally down at herself. You know what, Mom? Cheyenne started, sensing the shift in the atmosphere. I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Reba blinked, momentarily taken aback. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Just as the debate was about to heat up, the sound of heavy, dramatic footsteps approached the kitchen. It was Mrs. H, holding a half-eaten bag of potato chips, her eyes locked onto the pizza box like a guided missile. "All right, that is it, Mrs. H," Reba commanded, stepping between the woman and the pizza. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it." Mrs. H looked bewildered but reluctantly lowered the bag of chips. "Drop it," Reba insisted one last time until the bag rested safely on the counter. "Mrs. H, I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different?" Before Mrs. H could answer, the front door burst open with the force of a hurricane. A high-pitched, wildly enthusiastic voice echoed through the entire house. "Yoo-hoo! I am here, and I am thin." Everyone froze. Reba turned around slowly. Standing in the doorway was Barbara Jean. But it was not the Barbara Jean they were accustomed to. The woman who stood before them had undergone a transformation so profound it bordered on the miraculous. She was incredibly slender, glowing with an obnoxious amount of radiant energy, and dressed in a bright, form-fitting outfit that screamed for attention.
Vanessa's jaw practically unhinged.
"Yeah, thin as a stick, and dumb as one," he muttered under his breath, utterly bewildered by the sight. Brock, Barbara Jean's husband and Reba's ex-husband, walked in right behind her. He looked utterly exhausted, as if he had been dragged through a whirlwind. "Yikes," he whispered, staring at his newly transformed wife. "What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba closed her eyes tightly, rubbing her temples. "Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare." "Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin," Barbara Jean repeated, twirling in the center of the living room, oblivious to the shock radiating from her family. "And the nightmare continues," Reba deadpanned, shaking her head. The next morning, the sun rose over a household forever changed by Barbara Jean's revelation. Reba stood in the kitchen, determined to reclaim control over her life and the health of her family. She had a blender running at full speed, filled with a mysterious, swamp-green liquid. "Mom, make us some pancakes," Ben pleaded, walking into the kitchen rubbing his sleepy eyes. "No," Reba stated firmly, turning off the blender. "I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk." Van walked in, catching the end of her sentence. "Power walk?" he chuckled softly. "Oh, forget your power cane." Cheyenne swatted Van's arm. "Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics." She turned to Reba with a look of genuine concern. She could shatter her hip. Reba narrowed her eyes at her daughter and son-in-law. "And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless." The threat hung in the air for only a second before the front door swung open again. "Hey, everybody," Barbara Jean announced, practically skipping into the room. "I am here and I am." "Oh, shut up and have a donut," Reba interrupted, shoving a plate toward her. Barbara Jean gasped, pressing her hands against her remarkably flat stomach. "Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates." Reba stared at the green concoction in her glass, suddenly feeling deeply betrayed by her own breakfast. "Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, there has to be some sort of limit." Reba paused, noticing Brock standing in the corner, his eyes glued to his wife with an intense, unblinking focus. "Will you stop staring at her?" Brock snapped out of his trance. "What? We have been staring at her for, the past 2 hours." "Well, she is pretty," Ben offered innocently. "I am pretty," Cheyenne said, her voice carrying a sudden note of insecurity as she looked at her stepmother. "Well, of course you are," Reba reassured her daughter quickly. "You have always been pretty, but she is new pretty." Cheyenne turned to Van, her eyes wide and searching for validation. "Van, you really think that I am new pretty?" Van, entirely oblivious to the emotional landmine he was stepping on, nodded enthusiastically. Oh yeah, you are like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Barbara Jean giggled, flipping her hair. Thank you. You are welcome, Van replied happily. I am going to go make some calls. As Van left the room, Brock slowly approached Barbara Jean, his voice lowering to a conspiratorial whisper. So, Barbara Jean. Yeah. Is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, you know? Brock made a ridiculous bouncing motion with his hands.
Bounce ka bounce.
Hun. Cheyenne cried out from the hallway, completely misinterpreting Brock's strange behavior as something Van had taught him. Brock quickly turned to Cheyenne, realizing his mistake. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady.
Januari Jan Brady.
I am Marcia, Cheyenne corrected him, her voice filled with dramatic despair.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Barbara Jean clapped her hands together, bringing the attention back to herself. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gymnasium and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. She sighed dreamily, looking up at the ceiling. We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Brock's head snapped up. Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What has that got to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean replied breezily, entirely missing the dark cloud forming over her husband's face. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan, said quietly, her vibrant energy completely extinguished. I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. Reba looked at the woman standing before her. She saw the vulnerability beneath the loud, confident exterior. She realized that Barbara Jean, despite her new appearance, was still the same woman desperately seeking love, acceptance, and a place to belong. I know she might be right. Could be us, Brock whispered softly, the profound realization washing over him. He had let his own insecurities blind him to his wife's true heart. I am sorry, honey, Brock said, walking over to his wife and wrapping his arms around her. Reba just got me all worked up. That is, Reba started to defend herself, but she stopped. She recognized her own role in this drama. She had allowed her own small insecurities, her own slight jealousy of Barbara Jean's glowing new confidence, to cloud her judgment. Look, Barbara Jean, the truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. The admission hung in the quiet air of the living room. It was a moment of profound vulnerability, a laying bare of the complex, often messy emotions that tangle together to form the bonds of family and friendship. Sorry, Barbara Jean repeated, a slow, radiant smile breaking across her face. The hurt in her eyes vanished entirely, replaced by a look of absolute triumph and overwhelming joy. Yeah, this is great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba sighed, a long, weary exhalation that carried years of patience. I do not want to be you. I know, Barbara Jean squealed, her boundless enthusiasm returning in full force. It is even better. You want to look like me. She threw her arms around Reba, wrapping her in a tight, joyous embrace. Reba stood rigidly for a moment before slowly, reluctantly returning the hug. Despite the absolute chaos Barbara Jean brought into her life, Reba realized that she loved this woman. They were a family, forged not just by blood or marriage, but by a shared history of mistakes, forgiveness, and an enduring, messy kind of love. Hey, where are you going? Barbara Jean asked brightly as Reba gently disengaged from the hug and headed toward the kitchen. Just gonna go grab something to eat. I will see you next year, Reba called back over her shoulder, a genuine smile finally gracing her lips. The crisis had passed. The bonds of their unconventional family had been tested and proven strong once again, and she suddenly realized she was incredibly hungry. Upstairs, the evening light cast long, peaceful shadows across the bedroom. Van was lying on the bed, flipping idly through the channels on the television, enjoying a rare moment of quiet relaxation. The door opened slowly, and Cheyenne walked in. "Hey, buddy, what are we watching?" she asked, her voice deliberately casual. "No, we are not," Van replied instantly, recognizing the tone that usually preceded a request to watch a deeply emotional romantic drama. "Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go." Cheyenne smiled playfully. "You are going to pick scissors, are you not?" "Get out." Van laughed, conceding defeat before the game even began. Cheyenne sat on the edge of the bed. "Hey, honey. Hey, baby. I need to talk to you." "Oh, honey, I just got the television," Van protested weakly, but he muted the sound, turning his full attention to his wife. He loved her more than words could express, and he could hear the genuine need in her voice. "Well," Cheyenne began slowly, staring down at her hands, her voice trembling slightly with vulnerability. "I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest." Van sat up instantly, his heart clenching at the profound sadness in her words. He reached out, gently taking her hand. "No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty." "But anyway," Cheyenne continued, taking a deep breath and reaching for a bag she had placed on the floor, "I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." She pulled out a wildly impractical, brightly colored wig, holding it up with a mixture of hope and profound embarrassment. It was a desperate attempt to compete with a standard of beauty she felt she was suddenly failing to meet, triggered by the day's chaotic events surrounding body image and transformation. Van looked at the wig, and then he looked deeply into the eyes of the woman he loved, the young mother of his child, the partner who walked beside him through every challenge and every joy. He saw past the surface, past the insecurities, straight to the beautiful soul he cherished above all else. "Cheyenne, put that down," Van said softly, his voice thick with emotion. "Listen to me." She lowered the wig, tears welling up in her eyes, bracing herself for rejection. "I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer body," Van said gently, his words deliberate and profoundly sincere. "I see my wife, and I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas." Cheyenne looked at him, the tears spilling over her lashes, a fragile hope blossoming in her chest. "Really?" "Yeah," Van confirmed, leaning in closer, his gaze steady and filled with absolute devotion. "You are beautiful to me because of who you are." A profound sense of relief washed over Cheyenne, washing away the doubts and the fears that had plagued her all day. She laughed softly through her tears, leaning her head against his shoulder. I feel kind of stupid." Van wrapped his arms around her, holding her close, feeling the steady rhythm of her heart against his own. "That is also who you are, and I love it." He kissed the top of her head, a gesture of profound comfort and enduring love. They sat together in the quiet room, an island of peace amidst the beautiful, enduring chaos of their perfectly imperfect family. They had weathered another storm, not with grand gestures or dramatic transformations, but with the quiet, steadfast power of honesty, acceptance, and unconditional love. "Come on, you," Van whispered, a playful spark returning to his eyes. "Where are we going?" "Oh, we are going upstairs," Cheyenne replied, a genuine, radiant smile illuminating her face. "Hold on," Van teased gently, pulling her closer. "I thought you did not want me to leave you alone." Cheyenne looked up at him, her heart full, her soul completely at peace. "Sometimes I want to feel new pretty," she whispered softly, entirely secure in the profound knowledge that to the man holding her, she would always be the most beautiful woman in the world. The afternoon sun filtered through the kitchen windows, casting long golden shadows across a room that had recently been the site of absolute devastation. It was not a physical disaster, but rather a culinary one. The pantry doors stood wide open, exposing bare shelves. The refrigerator hummed a hollow tune, stripped of its usual colorful array of vegetables, cold cuts, and leftover casseroles. Standing in the center of this barren wasteland were Cheyenne, her husband Van, and her younger brother Ben. They stared at the empty space with a mixture of awe and profound hunger. "That woman is out of control," Ben whispered, his eyes wide as he picked up an empty box of crackers, shaking it just in case a single crumb remained. "She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house." Cheyenne sighed, leaning against the granite countertop. "She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house. Look at this." She pointed a manicured finger toward the center island. "Even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. Who eats straight pepper?" Van, standing tall with the athletic build of a young man who relied heavily on a high-calorie diet, shook his head in disbelief. "Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her, Cheyenne." "No, you tell her." Cheyenne shot back, crossing her arms. She loved her stepmother, Barbara Jean, but confronting the woman when she was on a feeding frenzy was a task no mortal wanted to undertake. "Rock, paper, scissors. Let us settle this the right way." Ben smirked, stepping up to Van. "Ben, you know you are going to lose," Van said with supreme confidence, rolling up his sleeves as if preparing for a heavyweight bout. "Not this time," Ben challenged. They raised their fists. 1, 2, 3, they chanted in unison. Ben flattened his hand into paper. Van, true to his historical pattern, extended 2 fingers to form scissors. "Dang it," Ben groaned, throwing his head back. "How do you always beat me?" Van grinned, tapping his temple. "Because you always pick scissors." "Of course." She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. "Oh, oh, 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 oh." Barbara Jean gestured proudly toward her chest, entirely devoid of self-consciousness. Reba felt a flush of embarrassment creep up her neck, but she maintained her composure. "Okay, Jordan," Barbara Jean said, settling down. "Jordan, this is my friend, Reba." "Hey, I am Jordan," he repeated, flashing that brilliant smile again. "I am Reba," she replied, keeping a watchful eye on their interaction. "So, you gonna join us, Reba?" Jordan invited warmly. "Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while." Reba deflected gracefully, stepping back to observe the dynamic from a safe distance. "Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching," Jordan encouraged, his tone endlessly positive. "You need to sweat a little." "Yeah, but you guys got to understand, it has been a while since I have been in a gym like this, and I do not think." Reba started to excuse herself, feeling entirely out of place amidst the gleaming machines and intense workouts. "Hello. There," Jordan instructed gently, adjusting Barbara Jean's position on the padded floor mat. "Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Remember when I did not want to?" Barbara Jean laughed out loud, a sound of pure, unadulterated enjoyment. Reba's eyes widened in shock. She watched as Jordan expertly guided Barbara Jean through a series of stretches that, to an untrained and highly suspicious observer, looked incredibly intimate. "Is that, legal?" Reba stammered, trying to maintain a polite facade while alarm bells rang loudly in her head. "I mean, necessary?" "It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them," Jordan explained professionally, his focus entirely on the biomechanics of the movement. "Yeah. Otherwise, you could really hurt something. Turn over. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite." Reba took a step closer, feeling like a reluctant witness to a crime against Bracca's marriage. "All right. Now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles," Jordan narrated as he guided Barbara Jean's arms backward. "Really should do this once a day." "Oh, I would do it all day if I could." Barbara Jean sighed happily, her eyes closed in pure relaxation. Reba felt a bead of sweat roll down her temple. The heat in the room suddenly felt oppressive. You know, is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Oh wow. Time for some weightlifting. Oh good. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah. Okay. All right. She backed away, her mind racing with the images she had just witnessed. You know, I think I have seen enough. So what do you think? Barbara Jean asked, sitting up, her face flushed with healthy exertion. You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Only if he takes me out to dinner first, Reba muttered under her breath, a sharp defense mechanism kicking in. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean pressed, her voice filled with earnest sincerity. Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. The word relationship echoed in Reba's ears, confirming every dark suspicion Brock had harbored. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you, Reba managed to say, her voice tight. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba, Jordan interjected smoothly, noticing her discomfort but entirely misinterpreting the cause. You will start with Dot. Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. Hey, get down there. A woman who appeared to be constructed entirely of solid granite approached, offering Reba a terrifyingly enthusiastic wave. Reba realized she needed to leave immediately before she was forced into a pretzel shape by a woman named Dot. Later that evening, the atmosphere in the living room was thick with anticipation. Brock paced the floor, his anxiety radiating in waves. Reba sat on the couch, rubbing her temples, trying to process exactly how she was going to break the news to the man who was the father of her children. So, did you see him? Brock demanded the moment the silence became too heavy. What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? He is big, Reba replied honestly, her voice soft with pity, but he is not as big as Dot. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Brock pressed, his eyes begging for reassurance. Look, Brock, Reba started slowly, choosing her words with agonizing care. I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But that is it, Brock interrupted, a sound of profound despair escaping his throat. Reba, come on. Okay, I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock collapsed into the nearest armchair, burying his face in his hands. Man, I knew there was something going on. The sound of the front door opening shattered the heavy silence. Hey, everybody. I am here and I am saying, well, Barbara Jean bounded into the room, her energy as vibrant and overwhelming as ever. Oh, unei. Brock stood up slowly, his face a mask of betrayal and profound hurt. Do not you honey me. Barbara Jean stopped in her tracks, her bright smile faltering. What are you talking about? Oh man, did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Brock demanded, his voice shaking with a mixture of anger and absolute heartbreak. What? Barbara Jean looked genuinely bewildered, her eyes darting between her furious husband and her deeply uncomfortable friend. We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba sank deeper into the couch cushions, desperately wishing she could turn invisible. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair, Brock accused, pointing an accusing finger at his wife. Any more than I already am, Reba muttered under her breath, fully aware of the irony of being caught in the middle of her ex-husband's current marital crisis. Okay, Barbara Jean stated loudly, planting her hands firmly on her newly slender hips. Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The word hung in the air, instantly diffusing the explosive tension in the room. Brock blinked, his brain struggling to switch gears so rapidly. What? Brock asked, his voice barely a whisper. Reba, Barbara Jean turned to her friend, a look of profound exasperation on her face. Do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Excuse me, He grabbed your breasts? Brock shouted, the jealousy instantly flaring back to life, entirely bypassing the revelation of Jordan's orientation. He is gay. He was not touching them, Barbara Jean clarified calmly, rolling her eyes at the dramatic overreaction. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned to leave the room, feeling deeply insulted by the lack of trust. She had worked so hard to improve herself, and the immediate assumption was that she was betraying her family. No, Reba. Barbara Jean stopped in the doorway, turning back to face the woman she considered her closest confidant. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. The phallus? Reba asked, confused by the plural. The girls, Barbara Jean corrected herself. Oh, the puppies. I am not threatened by you, Reba stated firmly, standing up to face the accusation. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, her voice rising in defense of her wounded pride. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gym? What were you spying on me? No, Reba started to deny it, but her innate honesty forced her to stop. Okay, yes. I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean asked, genuine hurt shining in her eyes. Why would you assume the absolute worst of me? Because you have changed, Reba said, her voice softening. She realized that the issue was not just about weight loss. It was about the profound shifts in family dynamics that occur when one person drastically changes their life. I have not, Barbara Jean insisted, tears threatening to spill over her lashes. Yes, you have, Reba continued gently but honestly. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Barbara Jean stared at her for a long moment. Hello? I have always been that way. From the hallway, Benna's voice floated into the room, offering an unvarnished truth. She kind of got a point there. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean, Reba admitted, realizing that the change was not just in Barbara Jean, but in how everyone else was reacting to her. Yeah. The way you guys look at me. Barbara Jean's but. So I am sorry. Sorry? Barbara Jean asked, her face suddenly breaking into a massive, radiant smile. Yeah. This is great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. I do not want to be you, Reba corrected quickly. I know. It is even better. You want to look like me. Reba sighed, realizing she was never going to win this argument. Hey, where are you going? Just gonna go grab something to eat. I will see you next year, Reba said, walking out the back door to seek the quiet sanctuary of the porch. Upstairs, in a much quieter part of the house, Van was sitting on the edge of the bed, holding a television remote. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. Cheyenne stood in the doorway. You are gonna pick scissors, are not you? Get out. Van looked up, confused. Hey, honey. Hey, baby. I need to talk to you, she said, her voice small and hesitant. Oh, honey, I just got the television. Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest. Van dropped the remote instantly, his heart breaking slightly at the sadness in her voice. No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig. She reached behind the door and pulled out a bright, somewhat unnatural-looking hairpiece. Van stood up, walking over to her slowly. He gently took the wig from her hands and tossed it onto the nearby chair. Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me. I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod. I see my wife. And I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. Cheyenne looked up at him, tears welling in her eyes. Really? Yeah. You are beautiful to me because of who you are. I feel kind of stupid, she whispered, burying her face against his chest. That is also who you are? And I love it, he chuckled softly, wrapping his arms around her tightly. Come on, you. Cheyenne smiled, the heavy weight of insecurity finally lifting off her shoulders. Where are we going? Oh, we are going upstairs, Van said, a mischievous glint returning to his eye. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone, she teased gently. Sometimes I want to feel new pretty, he admitted with a wide grin. They walked hand in hand, the silly misunderstandings of the day fading away into the background. The house was finally quiet, settling back into its normal routine. The cupboards might still be empty, and there might be a sudden influx of power smoothies in the refrigerator. But at the end of the day, it was still a home filled with love, laughter, and an abundance of perfectly imperfect moments. The morning sun streamed through the large bay windows of the suburban kitchen, casting a warm, golden glow over the chaotic but deeply loved home. The house was always alive with the hum of a blended, unconventional family trying to navigate the complexities of life together. At the center of this swirling vortex of domestic life was the kitchen island, a place where profound family meetings were held, tears were dried, and more often than not, food was fiercely negotiated. On this particular morning, the energy in the room was a potent mixture of awe and mild terror. Standing near the expansive refrigerator, staring into its barren depths, was Van. He was a young man with a heart of absolute gold, a protective instinct for his young family, and an appetite that usually rivaled a small bear preparing for winter. Yet, even he was stunned by the absolute devastation that had been visited upon the pantry. He slowly closed the refrigerator door, shaking his head in disbelief. He turned to his wife, Cheyenne, who was sitting at the kitchen table, nursing a cup of tea. That woman is out of control, Van whispered, his voice laced with genuine bewilderment. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Cheyenne sighed, resting her chin in her hand. She knew exactly who her husband was talking about. It was Barbara Jean, her father's new wife, a woman whose sheer enthusiasm for life was only matched by her sudden, ravenous appetite following a newly adopted, intense fitness regimen. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, Cheyenne replied, referring to her father, Brock Hart. She gestured toward the center of the table with a look of profound exhaustion. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. It was true. The glass shakers, normally filled to the brim, had been unscrewed and thoroughly hollowed out, as if someone had been desperately searching for the final, lingering granules of flavor in a world suddenly deprived of carbohydrates. Cheyenne looked up at her husband, her eyes pleading. Why do not you just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her. Van's eyes widened in sheer panic. The idea of confronting Barbara Jean about anything, let alone her eating habits, was terrifying. She was a woman of intense emotions, prone to joyous outbursts and tearful breakdowns, often within the same 5 minutes. No, you tell her, Van countered, backing away from the table. He raised his hands in a defensive posture. Rock, paper, scissors. Cheyenne groaned, but she knew the rules of their marriage. When a difficult task presented itself, the ancient game of hand gestures was the only fair way to settle the dispute. Ben, she called out to her younger brother, who was wandering through the kitchen in search of a stray cereal flake. You know you are going to lose. Not this time, Van declared, his voice brimming with false confidence. He pounded his fist into his open palm to establish the rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Van threw his hand forward, his 2 fingers extended horizontally. Cheyenne presented a solid, unwavering fist. Rock crushes scissors. Dang it, Van cried out, staring at his fingers as if they had personally betrayed him. How do you always beat me? Cheyenne offered a sweet, slightly patronizing smile. Because you always pick scissors. Of course I do, Van argued, defending his deeply flawed strategy. It is my system. Cheyenne folded her arms across her chest, the undisputed victor. So you will tell her? Van's shoulders slumped in defeat. Yeah, Fine, he muttered, before the reality of the situation washed over him again. Panic set back in. No, I do not want to. He looked at his wife, his eyes wide and begging. You tell her. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. No, Van, why should I tell her? Cheyenne asked, though she already knew his reasoning. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks, Van explained, his logic tangled but sincere. He paused, looking at his beautiful wife, and his tone softened entirely. A genuine, loving smile spread across his face. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Cheyenne felt a blush rise to her cheeks. Despite the chaos of their lives, Van always knew exactly how to make her feel like the most beautiful woman in the world. Oh, you? She murmured, a soft smile playing on her lips. It was at this moment that the matriarch of the house made her entrance. Reba, a woman of infinite patience, sharp wit, and a heart large enough to shelter this entire complicated family, walked into the kitchen. She took one look at the two young people bargaining over who had to face the wrath of Barbara Jean and let out a weary sigh. She carried the weight of the family with a graceful, humorous resilience. Look, sweetie, why do not I tell her? Reba offered, moving to wipe down the counter. Van let out a massive breath of relief. Thank you. Before Reba could even begin to formulate a gentle intervention regarding the missing groceries, the back door swung open with a dramatic flourish. Reba's mother walked in, carrying a large, flat cardboard box that radiated the unmistakable, glorious aroma of baked cheese and tomato sauce. Hey, 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 her mother announced, her voice filled with triumph. Guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Reba paused her wiping, looking at the large pizza box with a mixture of amusement and concern. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Her mother waved off the concern, setting the box down on the table with a satisfying thud. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Almost instantly, a hand shot out from the doorway. Dibs? A voice called out. Reba looked around the room, taking in the empty salt shakers,